scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it,
That is
dude. You
good.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan there,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
Oh, my browser failed to play the video clip. It said
What? It's the same video clip as the opening.
something went haywire because the music started out fast and then it slowed down, and then at the end it said browser failed to play the video clip.
Huh.
And I was like, that's where the special stuff happened. But little did I know, and everybody out there, little did you know, that this is where the special stuff happens, baby. All the time. All the time. Welcome to the big room.
We dance all day in this house.
Oh,
We dance all day in this house. Come on, get on down. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the big room where you too could be transformed.
And earn big room bucks if you can guess our little quips that we make along the way.
Yes,
That was
indeed.
one of
That was, yes, indeed. Yes. That'll be what? What do you say? 600 big room bucks for that
600.
reference?
Sounds
We
fair.
dance all day in this house.
Name the show.
If Rev was here, he would know.
oh yeah.
Hey, everybody. This is a very special big room live chat show tonight.
Is it?
Because it is. Because this is the first time I have a desk in front of me.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
It feels
Oh yeah, you did a rearranging of the studio space.
yeah, it's for a workspace, and I had a late Zoom meeting for this logo pitch, and so I didn't get down here in time to switch it up. And I was telling Phoebe, I feel quite awkward. I feel like David Letterman in a way, like I need,
Ah, yeah, you got the pencil.
yeah, but it's my wand,
Nice.
you know, kind of deal. Anyway, welcome to the big room, everybody,
I
where
like
we ask the hard questions.
Mm. Yes.
hard questions.
Like
And we ain't talking about penises.
that.
Sometimes we talk about penises
This right here. Ding, ding,
when
ding,
we
ding,
say
ding.
hard
Ding dong.
questions. This
Dong,
is going the
dong,
wrong
dong.
direction.
Anyway, but I got a question for Ad Hoc. I got a hard question to ask him.
Oh boy,
BB, what about you?
still feeling awkward.
I could ask him to. I don't have anything on my own yet, but yeah.
Why is it so awkward?
But I don't know why.
I
Because
don't
we're
know
not
why I talk about.
ready on the pitch. Ad Hoc, I'm curious. What?
What?
Oh, you
yeah.
drinking?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you know, I got something in my hand, baby. I am drinking my drink
Of course.
that is lime, Jack Daniels, and seltzer water with real maple syrup in it.
That's Jack
Ooh.
Daniels in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Not,
So
not
it's
a lot of Jack Daniels in there. It's a shot in there.
nice. That's a good way to do it. It's like cleansing. It's hydrating while going down that jack
It
road.
tastes like a Coca-Cola.
While getting jacked up, jacked off, jacked.
Interesting.
Jack you up, jack you up.
I've drank this many times. In fact, you guys asked me, well, what do you name it? What did you call it?
And what are you drinking?
What'd you call
I
it?
can't remember what we came up with, but I was like, I don't know. Canadian Jack? And I was like, no, there's probably something already called that. I wasn't super creative with that, though. It was like,
No,
It's
you
now
aren't.
called the Big Room Jack Off.
I could call it it's not a Canadian Coke because it's Jack Daniels, and that's not a Canadian liquor, you know? There's nothing. I use a Canadian maple syrup in it.
How about?
Wait,
How about?
wait, how about this?
Okay, I got one.
I got one too. How
Okay,
about
let's hear
this?
it.
I'd say you call it the Jack Candy.
Oh, like because John Candy.
Right? John
Was
Candy
Canadian.
Canadian.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff.
Or you could call it John Candy's brother.
That's a little confusing.
Yeah, it's
I
very
like
confusing.
Jack Candy because
Jack
it's
Candy.
I like Jack Candy.
reminiscent of the old
Of
SNL
course
skit.
you are. Oh yeah,
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
Yeah.
Jack Candy, right?
Uh-huh. Right on. That's much
Right.
better than I was going to say, so I'm not even going to say it.
The Jack
That's-
Candy.
The Jack
I
Candy.
think
Jack
that's got to
Candy.
be it. But T, let's hear what you had in mind anyway.
I was going to say the Canuck the big Canuck in the room.
Oh, because Big Room and Canuck.
Canadian, the
Right.
And
Canuck.
it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be Canadian maple syrup, but it's got to
Yes,
be
it does.
real maple syrup, not
Hey,
corn.
if it's going to be a real, otherwise it's a knockoff version.
Yeah, it's not Jack Candy. It's not Canadian.
not
maple
Jack-
syrup.
Oh,
I mean-
and the can for the Canadian,
That's
Jack
right.
Canadian.
And champagne can only come from France.
Right, you just
Right.
crushed it with that. All right, this is the Jack Candy.
Bro,
That's right.
the Jack Candy.
Deep drunks.
And you can have a Jack Candy or a Jack Candy with the twist. Jack Candy with the twist, it means you put the lime in there. You
Right.
can also have it without the lime.
Right.
Jack,
That'd be a Jack Candy.
Jack Candy. I was going to come
All
up
right.
with
I'm gonna have to write that down, so I'm not asking you guys next week. What do we name that Jack Candy?
something.
Yeah, Jack Candy. It's fucking great, man. I
It's
love
perfect.
it.
You nailed it. Nailed
Got
it.
the Jack in there, Canadian maple syrup, and
Got it all, baby.
And a John
sounds like
Candy.
Jack Candy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Deep John Candy cut. It's good.
John Candy's
Yes.
and Jack Candy's love child.
John Candy. How come it doesn't sound right anymore? Is his name not John Candy?
John Candy? Well, it's now the late John Candy.
It was John.
John Candy. It's not Jack.
John-
His brother's
John-
name is Jack Candy.
Right.
The original
John.
Jack Candies, because I think John Candy was from Canada originally,
Correct. Born Canadian
So-
born, and then
and he
Second
froze
City.
a lot of the sperm. So
and that's what's in the drink.
for an extra $1,000, you can get the Jack Candy with a little bit of John Candy.
Right. Just
Man,
just one swimmer. A grand
Yeah.
only gets you one swimmer.
It does. Yeah, there's not that many. You know,
There's not that many
places.
places. There's not that many places
Gonna
you can
sell out.
go for that drink. I mean, that's
No, and it's limited supply. He's not making any more.
he's not making any more.
Mm-mm.
That's right. He's dead.
If you get a less than reputable barkeep,
Oh yeah. Then you don't know what kind of
Oh,
you don't
Yeah.
know what kind of swimmers are coming
you
down.
don't know what's coming there, man. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
thanks for asking me, guys, so early on, because you know.
Oh, I know it's a
drink.
thing with you.
Oh, I see K Rock there, bro. I
Mm.
dropped something off for you today, and
Yes.
the purple package.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, the hand of
Open
K Rock,
that.
everybody.
Right now, if you like.
Hand of
Oh,
K
but
Rock, everybody.
You want to open up the purple package now? You said
Yes.
K Rock.
And then we'll
K-Rock-
ask you a question, the famous question.
K Rock's getting a purple package.
Fascinating. Oh, I'm curious. It's not what I think it is.
That does sound bad, brother.
You don't know what it is, T.
I don't know what it is. Open
No.
up your purple package.
All right. Is
Yeah,
this it?
Oh, it's
Yeah, that's
shiny
the one,
purple
that's the one.
package.
Yeah, don't open up the other one until the smaller package. You got to wait on that package.
Don't
This-
open up the smaller one. Okay.
Do not
It'll
open up the
it'll
smaller one. Just the big
explode.
one.
Explode.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. All right, we're gonna open it.
So
I love the wrapping paper.
yes,
It's very
wrinkly and princey.
yeah.
It's kind of like prom night.
Future Prince
Oh, I
William.
love the name. I'm already liking the name here.
Already licking the name.
Right, yeah.
Oh, nice.
What do you got? What do you got? What's happening here?
This is hold it up.
Here it is.
It's,
Blam! Then you say,
Blam.
goddamn, this is a dope jam.
It's an expensive whiskey.
Oh, and a hat, or a brooch, or a pterodactyl.
Woo, it's party
Oh, that's
time.
a good wizard hat.
where's that bit? Writer's tears.
Writer's tears.
And
And there's
Oh,
two glasses.
that-
I got one and
Writer's
you got
whiskey.
one. And initially, I wanted to have a toast with you with it.
Right.
Oh, that's
I-
awesome.
I have the glass, so we'll have to have a virtual toast. And
That's
of
awesome.
course, that's for the book that you and I started so
A quarter
long,
of a
so
century
many
ago?
moons ago. So many moons ago.
Oh,
and
so
and
many
to all
moons
your
ago.
great writing achievements on your own
Yeah.
this past, couple years, man. So that's pretty awesome.
How many moons?
Should I taste this tonight? You're saying, or should I hold off?
That would
on
be
this?
fantastic. You want to do a little pour? I'll grab my glass.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Let's see if we can get
But
this. open.
but I have to run down to my car because I left the glass in my car. So you have to give me a minute.
Off you go.
In the meantime, we can ask T what he's drinking.
Nobody
What?
knows. Pause.
What?
We don't know. Too many to tell.
See, what it's
What
are
are you
you
drinking,
drinking?
T?
Well, if you
And while
know
you
the
tell
monk,
everybody, I'm gonna run and get my glass.
sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a gin drink.
Why? Why even ask?
But because we don't know what you're mixing it with, it's always
Sure.
it's always
that's
it's
true.
always different. It's a different type of gin drinks. There's millions of them.
There's
You got a
millions.
million of them.
And we can make up a name for this one also. All right, run to the ad hoc mobile. Well, for all of you out there that have been studying my life and my lifestyle week after week, Wednesday after Wednesday here in the big room,
Oh wait! Before I leave, sorry to interrupt you.
it's such an interesting. I didn't even know where I was going to
Just
go.
so we have somebody sitting in my chair. Wizard Beard, will you
Yes.
summon my doppelganger?
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
I think I can do this.
Okay. Get your spell ready. He's pulling out his spell book, everybody.
Whoa, my screen's been crazy.
That's Adam's hands. Hold
No,
on.
Wizard
Don't-
Beard,
Wizard
summon Wizard Beard.
Beard!
Wizard Beard.
Summoning the transformation of Ad Hoc into Riggedy Sizzle! Yeah.
What magic? Oh, it's magic. You know, riggedy sizzly, so it's magic. You know. Do you need earphones? Can you hear us? Oh, that's awesome, man. That's pretty good transformation.
Wait,
Act.
just give it a quick rinse. I'll use
It's
that
like,
one.
yeah, man, I was like chilling, looking here, and I'm thinking, now I'm freaking west of Pittsburgh.
Now you're in an ad hoc zone. You're in an ad hoc's nest.
I mean, that's right. That's right.
The ad hoc nest.
Upset. Here's the microphone. I don't know how to set up. It's tight. You got a nice tight thing going on here. It's tight.
Oh, that's so sweet. I bet you say
Jack
that to all the
Handy.
boys.
I had a Jack Candy too. It was good. When I have a second, I think.
Nice. Oh, there it is. You transformed.
I'll put ice into that, and I'll use this one for the next one.
There it is.
I gotta use that glass.
Riggedy
What's up, boys?
Good to see you.
Oh
my
man,
friend.
you know, stuff.
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 What were you studying in school? Stuff. 8,000 Big Room Bucks. What movie is that from?
I sort
Is it stuff?
I think I know, but
8,000. We'll get back to that. Riggedy. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I told the story the other day. I can't remember anything of it though. Was which the stuff kind of struck my head just now was the old Car War story.
What's my name?
What's my name? It's- they're-
Figure out how to set up here.
our characters are vagabonds and wanted criminals, but we decide we're gonna go in and we'll just go for the big tournament, the big Car Wars tournament. And they're like, all right, well, you have to register. And we're like, yeah, sure, fine. And then I go, and now T, you see behind the girl taking the registration is a wanted poster with your picture, and it says, what was your character's name at that point? It was you were playing a
Nuke.
Nuke.
I was Nuke.
You were Nuke, yeah, with Nuke, with the name Nuke. And she goes, okay, and what's your name? And Todd responds to the person saying, what's your name is?
What's my name?
What's my name?
Well, my name. That's pretty much a dead giveaway. That the next
Yeah.
thing I'm going to say is a lie.
Anytime, if you're ever in a situation where you ask someone, so what's your name? And their response is, well, what's my name? The name they're going to give you is not their name. It's something else.
So it's like, so what's your age? What's my age?
What's
I'm
my age?
21 years old.
Exactly.
And I'm here legally.
Legally to drink.
Beverages.
Yes.
That's my age. What's your sex? What do you mean?
What do you
What's
mean?
my sex? I am a man.
Hey.
TT, perfect timing on my awkward
TT
joke. Oh, Diane says her knee is healed.
Hey,
Wonderful. And T can jump into her arms anytime. Oh, I love that. That makes me so happy.
Who's that?
Diane, that is Princess Diana. She is the matron of the best tavern establishment that Tyrone would play at for Tuesday Blues Day, which was organized by the
Diana.
Titi Randall. And Diana, she is this amazing presence, and she is like,
We smell it.
I am her.
Ooh.
She's my physic, and when I would see her, she really wanted me to be able to run and leap up into her arms, and she would catch me. That's how tall she is compared to myself.
Good for you.
But then she broke her foot.
That's good.
Oh,
Catching you? This is record.
No, in the octagon,
Right.
fighting midgets, kicking them.
Right.
Kicker of elves. No.
Kicker of elves.
It was a work related injury. But then she couldn't catch me. Next time we played at a Tuesday Blues Day, organized by the one and only TT Randall. Anyway, yeah. Tell her, send her my love. I love who she is. I really enjoy her.
Yeah,
what were we talking about? I was saying something like, oh yeah, what's my name? So anyway, so Riggedy, I got a question for you. People on the street have noticed that you are not in your studio at the moment.
Yeah.
And that you've put a sign on your studio saying closed for half a month. What's up with that? All the locals are talking. They come around, all your fans with the cameras and paparazzi. You snuck out, but you left a message saying gone for half a month. Where's your adventure taking you, Riggedy?
going to the desert.
With a horse. With no
Yes,
name.
no name. Oh, I asked it its name, and it said, "What's my name?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where's he gonna go with this? Where's he going?"
You took it. You nailed it. That's exactly right. That was so perfect.
No, I'm going out on a retreat. I'm going on a retreat, a sabbatical, going on hiatus. That's about it, man. I'm going to do some writing. I'm going to do a lot of hiking because Phoenix is just surrounded by mountains. It's a valley that's surrounded by mountains, beautiful mountains to hike. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Awesome.
But, you know, I have a position in this universe, and it's not here. So if Wizard Beard would work his magic, I will find my way back here in a minute or two. But this, I feel like I'm not meant to be, and I need to find my right position.
Find your way back to your heart.
Wizard Beard, do your
Wizard
magic.
Beard calls upon the return
Oh,
of King Enoch.
I'm bad. Where's the camera? I can't tell.
It's Wizard Beard magic, everybody. And
Thank you, Wizard Beard.
this is a
Thank
special night.
Thank you, Wrigley Sota, Wrigley Siznota, Sizzle, Rizzle Siznota.
Riggedy Siznizzle. Should be Riggedy Siznizzle.
Really, shizzle? Okay, I poured this into the cup, which looks fantastic.
Ooh,
yeah.
honey, golden.
It's,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
It looks thick.
and you're having it on rocks right out the gate?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I smelled it. It smells great. All right, I'll try a regular one after this.
Okay, what's the
And there's a li-
what's the
You have the little tear there. Yeah, you have the little tear in your glass.
I have a little, yeah. So here's the tier.
Ooh.
Cheers,
Right.
bro. This
Right.
is, I'm drinking Tullymore Dew since I don't, so
Tullamore Dew is a good whiskey, man.
it's still a great whiskey. So, but cheers, my brother.
All right.
Right there.
To the writers.
To your art and to your art form.
So
Yes.
everyone's all right. Yes.
May your pen never run dry.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yes. Tapping into the stories of the universe. What do you think? Looking at the faces, looking at the reaction.
How it is.
Oh, that's good. That's very scotchy.
Scotchy. Did you get the Fight Club?
Genie Jafar.
Jafar. I was like, who knew? Who knew?
Wizard Beard, separates the two entities and calls Riggedy Shizzle on his own.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's gonna need a headphone. One of you guys are gonna need headphones.
All right,
Guys.
I'll do. I'm going to mute my mic for a minute.
That's hilarious.
If you turn it down all the way, you can hear it pretty well, right?
Yeah, but I turn it down so it doesn't mute.
Oh. I think you're
Yeah,
good, bro. It's good. It's good enough.
I could actually hear Riggedy.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's okay. I see. What
No,
you're saying.
no, I mean it's fine. Like when he speaks, I hear.
I hear him through your microphone.
Yeah, he's getting the volume back. It's not.
It wasn't
I
bad.
see what he's saying. Okay.
So Riggidy's voice is
I
getting
got
your
some
voice.
headphones you can plug in, bro.
I got it. 1 second, fellas. Sorry, fellas.
All right, back to the. Tell us about the
Jeannie
tier.
Jafar gets the 8,000 big room bucks. By the way, did anybody get with the reference? I mean, she got the reference. Do you remember the scene in Fight Club? And she even went so far to double those points to 16,000 big room bucks that he wanted to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
Oh.
In the Fight Club movie, remember? Tomorrow will be the best day in his life.
Oh right, yeah.
That something will taste a little sweeter.
Right.
Yeah, it's when he takes the guy out of the convenience store.
Yeah.
And puts a gun to his head and demands that he goes off to follow his bliss, his
I
true
have to see
bliss.
that movie again. It's been way too long.
Yeah,
Decades.
great. Very good. So where are we? So we had his breakfast would taste sweeter. Oh, Jeannie, I love
Yeah,
you.
so we're still doing our little round robin of what are you drinking?
Uh-huh. So ad hoc, I have a question. So with this writer's block, did you get to taste it before it went to BB?
No, I did not.
Oh shit! You know what?
We're looping in a weird way. Sounds like.
No way I can get
What you should do is just don't put those in your ears. Listen to this and just leave that hang out and you'll be fine. Just take them out of your ears.
I tell that to my kids all the time. Just
Yeah,
listen.
Just leave it like that.
Take it out of
Just
your
listen
ear.
here, and then
You're gonna be fine.
and we can hear you through here, and you'll hear yourself through this.
microphone is still catching. It's still causing microphone.
I don't know. Can you guys hear Riggedy right now?
Not really.
You can't.
Good.
They couldn't hear me.
They cannot hear you.
It's not really.
See, now you can hear me, but now we got that delay
Right.
again.
Yeah.
There's no way to fix that.
Son of a diddly.
I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna sit from the.
Do you have some of these?
Yeah, I did that. That's what the microphone
On this is picking up shit.
So what he's saying is that because his headphones are picking up my speaker and then causing an effect whether he has the
Race
headphones.
fans, hot
or he
rods.
takes- yeah, there's a lot of race fans going on. I can put on my headphones and then we can do it that way. Let's do this.
There you go.
There we go.
Let's try this. I gotta switch it on my computer though. Give me just a second.
I'm putting money down that this does not work for ad hoc.
Okay, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'd second that one, man. I thought we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
together.
because this does not work. There's no way.
I third
You
that.
have to turn off the speakers. You have to turn off your speakers.
Oh, I have to also turn on my.
I love this.
Yeah, this is
It's
gonna be
fixed.
good.
This will fix it. If
Do you
the speaker
remember
turns-
every week? So in the early days of the big
We're gonna
room,
mix will fix it.
Mix will fix it.
He-
Say that
he from
backwards.
Nicofessin.
NFL. So in the early days of the big room, I hear me echoing now. Dear God. The first, how long, BB? What would you say? How much of the program? Hey, Handy K Rock.
Woo!
In the house. It's K Blues. Manifeste? How much of the show was always spent to Adam microphone working or not working?
Oh,
Remember
a year ago at this time? Yeah, a year ago at this time. At
It's
least,
been a year, has it?
yeah, at least the first 20 minutes of every show was
It was wonderful.
the microphone not working.
Oh wait, Adam, we can't hear you.
You can hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
He lies.
What? Why would I? I hear multiple voices of yours actually.
Does he say something?
I don't.
I'm in the same
Still
room
hear
as
delay.
that
If
guy.
I say it, it's picking up on his speaker, and I'm hearing myself twice too.
There's
Son
just
of a
no
gun.
winning. I don't even know. I think I'm just going to give up on this, and I'll just kind of hang out in the back. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang out in the back there.
Stand in the kitchen and yell your information. Hold
Lurk
up,
o-
son.
Why don't you lurk over my shoulder? the
Maybe I'll
entire-
creep over. I need to make another drink anyway.
What?
All right.
Another
Lurk.
drink. I don't think anybody had asked Rickety Sizzle at any point.
Rickety sizzle.
But he's over there in
Thinking
the alchemist lab right now.
I'm drinking the Jack Handy, son.
What? What? Yeah,
Jack,
Seriously,
motherfucking candy.
With the band!
With the band
Summons!
summons.
Jenny Jafar!
Oh, Gina Jafar in the
You got
hizzy.
to come instead of from across the pond. You got to go from another room,
Another realm!
another realm, another
We got
room.
echoes going on, and I think
I know. I'm trying to figure out what I can do.
is that you, Rickety, or is that Jafar's phone that we're picking
No,
up?
it's either me or Adam. It's Adam and I are bouncing off.
Yeah,
each other.
because my voice is going in this mic and in his mic.
And that Mike.
It's exciting. You guys just need to
All right.
whisper. Oh, and by the way, Ad Hoc needs these boobs on his shoulder, not me.
Here we go.
Oh, damn it.
Give me my boobs back, please.
Boom, boom, boom,
I need those boobs.
boom, boom, boom.
Hey,
Dora.
Rickety Schnizzle,
Eh.
look at this situation happening right here.
Oh, that's nice.
That is one. That is
Oh,
one sleep.
let's give us
beast.
more of that. Give us more of that.
Yeah.
Sleeping beast. Sleepy
Oh.
beast, you're so sleepy tonight.
That echoes one.
Sucking bright.
That was
All
gorgeous.
right.
Hawk. That was really nice.
It was wonderful.
It was, wasn't it? It was like a 1960s trippy ass movie.
I got confused for a second.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you really went deep.
Yeah,
Sleepy beast.
And I had my ankles crossed, and she just put her chin down on my foot and then fell asleep. But her head was completely raised up. Like she just like, great, awesome. This is where I sleep now.
Nice.
So good.
so good.
Riggedy, is it pumping hot in here? Or is it just me?
I think you got the
Piping.
heat. It feels like I don't know, man.
The heat's
Got the heat.
bumping. The heat is bumping.
I usually keep my heat. I like to keep the heat around 64.
We gotta
62
adjust this.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Thanks.
So Twister girl, Twister baby girl.
Yeah. Twister Queen Elizabeth Marie Mundock McCain.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. The monk is here. Ooh.
What?
I've not turned.
You have to lock. Maybe the rotate lock is on.
Okay.
What?
Don't worry about it. Let's just have it upright. That's
I'm just gonna keep my mic muted unless I'm about to say something.
fine.
I can also
Right.
turn the gain down on this. Since you're in the room, we could try that.
That might help.
Yeah, that'll definitely help. All right, you guys can still hear me. I just gotta get up on the mic a little bit more.
Yeah, you sound fine.
All right. Unmute Riggedy. Let's try it.
All right. Am I unmuted?
Yep.
And if I talk like this, it's okay.
I don't know if it's okay or not.
It's not. We tried.
It's not okay, man.
I mean, audio speaking, it's fine. But emotionally, it's yeah.
Making me feel things.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. Like he's behind me right now. You can't even see him at all. Because my place is so huge. It's
Now
huge
you
in
got-
here.
now you got an echo.
You have an echo. You're the one with an echo. No, it's you're echoing.
Oh, where'd he come from?
What'd I miss?
My octopus teacher.
I could tell you what, these glasses are meant for smashing. Look
Yeah.
It'll be
at
that
how
kind of
that
night,
fits
isn't it?
right in there. It's like a little baseball just ready to be hurled at somebody's skull. Or a
Nice.
wall, or a fireplace, or a floor.
Big Bay.
No.
Or it's either Mazel Tov or it's Big B
Right.
from Train Spotting.
Train spotting, yeah.
So, Brian, tell me more. The wizard, the wizard tears, the writer's tears.
The
How is
wizard,
it?
wizard
Wizard-
tears.
It is. Hold me.
Why
It's
must
really-
I cry?
Hey, K-Rock, let me get another sip here when you can.
I am but a man.
You've been spotted, darling. Says Jafar.
TT.
But
What's up,
yeah,
TT?
this is delicious. Like this stuff does not taste like Irish whiskey.
Tastes like leather,
It tastes
That's
like
like
a Scotch. Closer.
like a lowland or a highland.
Is it smoky, peaty?
Uh-uh.
Is it like smoking a peaty?
Smoking Pete's. Peeps.
Smoking peeps, tweeds?
No. Much more like a Glenmorangie. Much more of a Highlander.
Mm,
And Marangy.
Sweeter.
mm,
It's really good. It's
mm,
Who's making? Oh, is that you, Jafar?
mm,
Yes.
Oh my.
I know. It's like, is that the dog yawning?
mm.
Oh,
Scotch.
that
Scotch.
microphone's working.
There goes that down into my belly.
Scotch.
That's the mum-
Yeah, you got a hot mic there, Jeannie. Hot.
Mm.
Yes, we can hear that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, when it's the appropriate moment, I'm going to tell my little story that I told you, the monk.
Just don't do any leave all exclamation points out, or you might deafen us all.
Absolutely.
Reel it in, Leo. We'll see how this goes.
Anything in your story that has an exclamation point, turning it into a period, please, because
You got it.
I'm done for with these things.
Staying calm.
You're
Staying
pumping.
very
You're
calm.
You're bumping.
You do have a
Bump.
sleepy puppy on your
Pumping hot.
Bumping and
Pump it hard.
Okay, go ahead, Hottie.
Who's ready for a story? Oh wait, who's ready for a story? Are you drinking? What are you drinking, by the way, Jafar?
Jeannie, Jafar, what?
What
Are
you
drinking?
I'm drinking a lovely
Oh.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. How is that Chardonnay? Is it
It's
okay?
Real good.
Is it good? You like
It's
it?
real good. Yeah. it's from
Chardonnays are
my-
sometimes hit and miss. They're all over the board sometimes. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, this came
Sometimes-
from King Ad Hoc. It was a gift to the house the other day to me. I love when Ad Hoc comes over. He never shows up empty-handed, which he's never expected to come with anything. But every time he's come over, the first thing he pulls out of a bag is a bottle of wine and hands it to me. You are welcome all the time, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't feeling the red tonight, so I
Sharon.
busted this open and
Mix.
Frontera award-winning wines, After Dark Chardonnay, 2018, Concha Toro After Dark
Oh,
Chardonnay. It's real good.
yeah,
That's what I'm drinking.
I just did the
Does it taste like cantaloupe? Does it have hints of cantaloupe?
Wait, you're echoey. What did you say?
Riggedy shizzles. That's
Damn,
so
is it
weird.
echoing? I'm trying to. Is this not the
I know,
microphone
you're
right
like
here?
so-
Could be heard? I'm running some tests, man. I'm running
Yeah.
tests.
It's
To test the
amazing.
feeling.
That just gave me like a deja vu. Actually, it's interesting.
That's what it is.
What was a good one? What kind of deja vu?
Oh, it was you. It was I don't know, but in the deja vu, we're all in the room, but it was going through like a green bullet. Sean B316, what are you drinking?
Sean
Great deal. Is that the Bev to the
I know
Dome?
that's
It is
Bev
Sean
to the
B.
Dome. Sean
Not to
B.
give away your alias.
We guessed
Sean
you.
Bean,
I would-
right?
Sean B. I
Sean
would have
B.
never guessed had you not DM'd me a couple weeks ago and said that you watched the show secretly. And this is the first time you've actually ever showed up in the text. So welcome,
So
man.
welcome to the conversation.
Welcome to the
Favorite-
conversation. Keep them
What's your-
coming. You're in the big room now.
Favorite Sean Bean death?
Sean Bean.
Yeah, Sean Bean. Favorite Sean Bean death?
I
Who's
don't know
Sean
what this
Bean?
means.
What's the referencing?
Sean
Who's
Bean.
Sean
the-
Bean?
No.
Sean Bean.
He's in games.
Boromir.
Yeah,
Boromir.
yeah,
Yeah.
From Lord of the Rings?
yeah.
Yes, Boromir.
Get mute for a second.
So the actor, what was his best death scene in a movie? Is that what you're saying?
He dies in every movie he's in. He died in Game of
Is-
Thrones. He died
He
in
dies
Yes.
right away in Game
Oh,
of
okay.
Thrones.
Thrones.
Took
He
mine
died
away.
in
All right,
Equilibrium.
you get 'em,
I would say head on a pike.
Head on a pike.
Head on a
Head on a
Pike.
pike.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty good. Although, the Boromir death is off. How does he die in Ronin?
I don't remember.
Mama B in the house as well, MJ. Much love to the MJ. Much love to MJ.
But only mostly radical. Back
Hey!
again.
Stinky diver!
Stinky diver in the building.
Yes. Who was the other person that popped up? I wasn't. Oh, the first one. The
The
DB
Stinky
one.
diver.
I don't know his name, but we all know that he got the Chardonnay. Yes. And earlier, there was a joke that kept rolling around in my head that I didn't want to interrupt with, but Ad Hoc was saying that Chardonnay is hit or miss. I was like, yeah, Chardonnay is either okay or it's like a shard from the A.
Right.
And thanks, Riggedy. Thanks. That's all I got. And I held on to that one
I held the HUD to that one.
for
And
you.
this
You should have held on longer.
Bring up that last quote for a second, please, BB. From
Right here.
The diverse.
yeah.
The diverse.
King Ad Hoc, we all know his name, and we all know they got the old Chardonnay. Yeah, coming at ya.
You know what? I bring out the champagne, the shard in pain. There it is.
Humming, coming at ya. Couldn't do a good job.
This is how we
Oh.
That goes out. That goes out to you.
Yes, it does.
That
It is. The first wave of
goes out to the diverse one.
the first
Stinky
wave.
Diver and
Right.
Mostly Rad. Because we know you guys travel in pairs. We figured that out.
Yes, indeed.
And probably you're not talking to us because you might be in the same room and you have echo problems. We're learning. We're figuring this out. We are super sleuthing. Super sleuths.
Oh no, techno fear. 12,000 big room bucks. Show. It's the same show as earlier
Yeah.
mentioned.
Never gave away 6.
Which is we never get, what was it? We danced all day in this house. Same show, same British comedy, early 80s. Boom.
So good, so good.
Stinky Diver is hilarious, by the way.
Stinky Diver, you've been gone too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Go, ride the tiger. You can see it's light, but you know it's clean.
He's got it. He's totally got it.
Stinky Diver, that goes out to you.
It's it. He wipes it rough, but it's amazing. It's clean.
Oh, can't you see what I mean? Man. Yeah.
One of them days. One of them days.
Some people are just born with it, Holmes.
It's every
right.
fucking bone with it.
Top of my head, y'all. Wow. It's on my head.
Wow. Look at that. Look how nice that kick it up.
Ooh.
Boy, that was
That's
nice.
why people drink out of metal cups.
Right.
Either that or that's the only
That's
cups
why.
they own.
Oh, like,
Because you're a
and
hobo.
it's bread mold.
It's not actually frost.
They're
It's
better.
bread mold to remind me of the time when I could afford ice. The writer's tears flow.
And the writer's tears floweth.
All right, me need more drinketh.
All right.
Yeah. Who's Sean Bean?
Who's Sean Bean? Come on. It just came out at such a weird place, man. Like, guys, it was like Mr. Bean.
Because fucking Sean Bean came on and showed up in the room, started drinking. Sean Bean's there talking. We're talking about Sean Bean. Who's Sean Bean?
What's my name?
Jay, Master Jay.
What's my name? What's my name?
What's my name? What's my name?
Jay, Master Jay. By the way, recently, the lads of the Monk and Jafar have been, that they've been going to Run DMC. It's Tricky has been popping up in conversation all the time.
It's hilarious. Then he'll say, it's tricky. And the next one, tricky. Tricky.
Nice.
All right. Tell Shiggity and the Hawk that they got to mute something.
I can mute him.
There it is. Nice.
Boom. Silence.
Boom. So how did Sean B die in the movie Ronin after his coffee was assassinated, which was one of my favorite little scenes there with whatever that famous actor's name is in the movie Ronin and Sean B. Do you remember this?
I don't remember how he dies, no.
But he does.
I love his death in Equilibrium.
Wow, that's an amazing movie that I haven't watched in a long time. It was kind of the precursor to the Matrix movement. Was it before?
Yeah.
No, oddly, I thought it was too, but it actually came out like the same year or a year later.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But boy, gorgeous looking movie. The sets,
I love the whole
costuming. Oh,
Yeah, I love the whole concept of the movie, and he has a great death in that scene. He's a cleric. He's one of the clerics, but he takes a book from one of the piles and starts reading it and starts feeling emotions, and then Christian Bale tracks him down, and they have a little discussion, and Sean Bean just lifts the book. He says, you'll do what you have to do, and Sean Bean lifts the book up to hide his face, and
the book.
And Christian Bale shoots him right through the book in the face and kills him.
Oh, to the book. Oh,
To the book.
Yeah.
Oh, the book.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene.
To the book.
Maybe we should start bringing some of these up through the night. Through
Sean Bean's deaths.
Yes, through YouTube.
It's a lot. You find me a movie he didn't die in. Somebody find me a movie.
There was that one Sesame Street episode. No way
Yeah.
he died in that
Yeah,
too.
no, he died in that. Yeah,
We got Snuffleupagus.
yeah,
Snuffed out by the Lupagus.
yeah.
Put in a can by Oscar.
Yeah, that's right.
He got
then
canned.
his worm
Yeah,
food. What
ate
was
him.
Oscar Grouch's worm's name?
Squirmin'.
It wasn't Squirmin'. It was something like Speedy or Turbo or something like that.
Speedy Squirmin'.
Oh, it's Squirmin' Speedy. Speedy Squirmin'. Yes, that's what.
I'm Jafaring you on that. I don't actually.
Squirmin' Wehrman.
Squirmin' Wormin'.
Herman Squirmin' Wehrman.
Which, by the by, I have to say, like with worms, this is like one of the lads when they were a couple of years ago. They were like littler. We were in the backyard digging up the garden in the spring and getting ready to plant. We're turning over the earth and putting the compost in, and we found worms. And Fen is holding the worm, and Balin is describing every part of the worm and telling me
Thorax.
all about how you can tell the front from the back and what they eat and why they're important to ecology and just, all these very highly scientific things about a worm. And then the camera of my eye cuts to Fen, who is holding the worm and going, ah. And those are our children, right there, that's like a snapshot of our kids right there. Like, and Mom, if you look at the worm,
where B knows everything about the animal and will never touch it hands on. Will study it from afar.
He'll actually say to Ben, hey, look at that really beautiful bug. Ben, pick that bug up. And
Jafar
will pick it up and hold it for balance so that he can look at it closely, but he will not pick them up. No need to touch them.
Pick that bug up.
Yeah.
That's called teamwork.
Fucking teamwork, man.
That's fucking teamwork. So I saw the hand, the K of the hand of. God damn, I don't even know what to call her right now when I can't see her hands. She brought something up about the bean there, which I think she Googled.
Those are just all movies that he's in, right?
Or is that the ones that he died in or lived in? K Blues, what do you say?
Did he die in all of those? Oh, he lived.
Martian. He lived in The Martian, of course. Right. And what was the other two?
Troy and Silent Hill.
Troy. Wow. When's the last time I watched Troy? Silent Hill. That's funny. Like one extremely murderous movie. He lives in it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I can't. I find it's hard.
Because he lives with me. We can't watch something like that.
I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to.
Too scary.
I gotta sleep someday.
It's just
too scary.
So
can I tell you my story real quick?
Yeah.
Jafar, got a story.
Am I keeping is my volume
Gather
okay?
round, everybody. Jafar got a story.
Yell up to
Gather
the kids and ask them if
round.
you're talking quietly enough.
Okay.
Just yell upstairs and say, "Hey,
I'm trying to get you
am
a
I
theme
quiet
song
enough?
working, by the way.
Am I doing pretty good?"
I would love a theme song.
Black Blue Beauty. And it says Ronan also. It's the internet, so yes. Trust everything you read on the internet. Children,
I think I'm smarter than everybody because
I believe
virtually everything I read.
12,000 Big Room Bucks. What movie is that a quote from? What mockumentary is that a quote from? That just went down to 3,000 from 12,000. I blew it for you. All right. Tell your tale. Tell your tale.
Okay. So I work in a place.
Brothel. I won't interrupt anymore, but you got to get these out of my head.
Okay.
Switch us back. Otherwise, Todd will talk nothing but smut.
You know what? You all are frozen to me. Am I frozen to you?
You're not.
Oh, all right, fine.
Ironically enough, you're all dead to me. I'm out.
We're both using it at the same Wi-Fi.
Story time with.
Okay, story time, everyone. So I work in a public place that is well known in our community, and I have a front of house kind of job. And today, the big man on campus came up to my office and asked if he could speak to me privately in a conference room. I'm not in trouble, but I'd like to talk to me. I said, sure. So we sit down and he tells me that he received a phone call from someone in the community that was upset by a Facebook post that I had. And I think you all will know that I really very rarely post on Facebook. I share pictures of the kids when they're little and dancing. I share stuff on the importance of breastfeeding and like mothering and like good earth kind
there
of
you
stuff.
go. Bibs.
Well, so I was waiting it to see if it was like breastfeeding, but I said, "What was the post?" And he said, "Apparently, you had a picture where you had like a red arrow on your face, and your shoulders were exposed." And I said, "Oh, it was a lightning bolt. I was doing a tribute to a David Bowie album cover, a very, very famous album cover." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I was like, and I was wearing a tank top. I just took the straps down. It was from a photo shoot at a salon that I worked at one point. We had professional photos taken, and afterwards we had the lighting and the makeup, so we did this. And
She's a star woman.
and he says, "Are you a fan of David Bowie?" And I said, "Well, my husband is a huge fan, and I know exactly when I put that up. I put it up in January around the time of his birth date, and then a week later his death date." And then he says, "Are you a fan of music?" And I was like, that's like one of the most square, generic questions I've ever heard. And are you a fan of the music?
Why would he even?
Some people are just square, baby.
Oh my God. So what happened?
So I was like, well, yes, I am a fan of music. And, my husband
is he like advocating a Footloose scenario at this point?
I'm waiting for it. Well, no.
Dogs.
I would be afraid at that moment of this, thinking this guy actually is like, we don't dance around here.
We don't
listen to music. Music makes dancing.
Well, it's interesting because later on that day, the gentleman that I work for more closely, who is also in an authoritative position, was playing sweet tunes by Prince on his laptop. He loves Prince music, and he was not like playing the clean versions of Prince. He's just playing Prince music off of his laptop. And so like he's cool, but like the other guy is just a little bit square. And this all rolled out just fine. I said to him, I'm happy to change my profile page, which I did. I changed my profile picture. And he was like, "Oh, I'm not asking you to do that. It's your personal profile picture and Facebook page." And I said, "No, I don't mind. It's spring and it's time to change it anyway." And he said, "I just wanted to let you know that there's a very good chance that you'll offend somebody, and you can't make everybody happy, but somebody out there, just be very careful what you post, because there's a good chance that somebody's going to disagree with it."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, I totally get it, because I bet if I found out who this person was and I dug into their Facebook page, I'd totally disagree with their lifestyle. And it's a two-way street. So I totally get it, because whoever out there decided that bare shoulders, okay."
Hey. With your complexion,
is he
you're
a
damn
witch?
right.
Is he teaching our children witchcraft with a lightning bolt face? What? It's a birthmark. Bitch,
I
was
teach
born
my
like
children
this.
because of their fair skin. I tell them that they've got to keep their shoulders covered, and then you're out there putting up.
Oh, I was hoping to find the photo, and I can't even find it as I scroll down your photos at the moment.
If my children get skin cancer on their shoulders, it's your fault, and I'm suing.
It's a brilliant photo.
You're teaching them bad shoulder etiquette.
Hygiene.
Am I allowed to find it?
Yeah, you might be able to find it a lot faster, because it's not when I go to your Facebook page, it's just not there.
Do you guys like whenever I do?
You know what? Mostly radical. Most people would like a little creamy white. Just say, "Would you like a little cream with your coffee?"
A little creamy white.
A little creamy white.
It's
You get a
code.
little uptight for my creamy white. Ooh.
It's a little code.
It's a
Yeah,
code
Yeah, it's a
for upper
code.
thigh, close to the hoo-ha, jibba jabs. I just made that up.
It's a really great photo. We worked really hard on the makeup and getting everything just right with like making sure my clavicles were really standing
Holding
out.
that drip of mercury.
Yeah, that was the only.
Are you guys? You
Right.
guys
Ours
streaming
froze.
is-
My
Yeah,
just lost Janie.
Jafar froze.
it's because you're both streaming over the same Wi-Fi. And that was, I think, part of
Got
the
it.
problem with Riggedy being over here too. It's the Wi. Excuse me, the Wi-Fi makes you burp.
Got a little bit
You
of
got
a
burp?
heartburn.
You got burp. You got burp. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I didn't burp. That was the Wi-Fi making me look like I burped.
Jibbity, 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 beep, beep, beep.
Choking out. I was frozen by the Wi-Fi.
I wonder if she knows.
I'm sure she knows she's frozen now.
I doubt it. No, of
Okay.
course she does.
It'd take. Oh, then she kicked back in and went away.
Hold on, she'll try again.
I'll tell
Summon
you,
her
man.
back was a bid. Summon her back.
We even
Yeah.
we've lost the whole jibbity jab.
See, you got the picture. Show the picture. Show the picture.
She looks.
Get us kicked off.
Oh yeah, you think this will do it? No, I can't find it. But this is the original that she was emulating.
Mhm.
A naked man.
Oh my God, he's so naked. Is that a penis on his shoulder?
Oh,
The Mercury penis? Freddie's Mercury's penis is on his
It's
clavicle.
not actually. It's John Candy's semen that we were referring to earlier. This is not a. I'm not slamming anything. It's just a
No.
fact. It happens to do with what that ad hoc was drinking.
I drink John Candy
John
semen.
Candy's semen.
So take that, internet.
Take that,
Yeah,
homophobes.
yeah. I'll drink John Candy semen. Think I won't? Fucking prove it. Bam. Here we go down the hatch.
God damn,
Take 1,000
this is a
bucks
dope
worth
jam.
of
She
drink.
just sent it to me. There.
What
Right
are
on.
people doing? I mean, God, you work at a, you work in a public place, and people think that now they own your life. So you take that down before you get her fired. Then I followed her on Twitch, and she was doing it on Twitch too.
She was like,
her everywhere.
it was like
Your problem at that point.
anti-red state.
If Sticky Diver says there's nothing
Hey.
wrong with that pick, then you can know there's nothing wrong with that pick.
Thank
You
you.
go
Sticky
back.
Diver.
You go back to that boss, and you tell him that Sticky Diver said that pick is perfectly fine.
So here's
Sticky
the other
Diver
part.
knows the code.
Here's the other part to this story. Here's the other part. So so in January, Ben had his 8th birthday, and
Yes,
it's a tradition for us to get like
NK
Um,
Blues.
for us to get helium balloons, and I
Yes,
sent
God
I
for
sent the
life.
monk to the store to get I sent the monk to get balloons, and I said, and pick up a bag of just like regular blow up balloons, and we'll
Right.
fill the bedroom floor with balloons. So we did. I sat for a couple of nights. I would just sit and like blow up balloons and fill up laundry baskets with this balloons.
Until she fell asleep.
It was the best way to put myself out. It was great. So there was this one that I pull out of the bag, and it's pink, and it's shaped like Mickey Mouse. It's a circle with 2 circles on top. We're not like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse fans, but I was like, this is cute, so I give it a little stretch, and I'm blowing it up. And of course, from my perspective, all I'm seeing is a pink balloon blowing up. So I pinch it to see, how the ears are turning out. And I turn it, and it has produced 2 tits, one short and one long, complete with areola and nipple. And this balloon is pink. And I'm just dying laughing. And so I try and blow it up some more. And it's just making the one bigger and the other one like
From left and right. It's left and right
Yeah,
syndrome.
it was like a left and right, and I'm telling you, it had like a hot pink end to it with a nipple on it. And so I just tied it off and threw it in the basket because it's Ben, and he's a little bit of a perv like that. And,
He knows
thought
the goods.
no, he knows what's up. He knows what's up. So TK said, well, what did you replace your profile picture with? I said, I just put the boob balloon picture because I took a picture of it because it was so funny.
Send that over to me. I'll share it with our audience.
Yes, I think everybody at this point wants to see that balloon.
But you know what? What it comes down to is when it's your birthday.
So we can all have group masturbation after. Why else would you say that? Doesn't everybody masturbate to balloons? What do you mean?
Most people. But when you come out of a vagina,
especially if they're boob balloons.
When you're born and you come out of a vagina instead of into one, and the first place that you hunt, your home, your food source, we psychologically, as especially American males, always want to go back to that super buffet.
Unless you're gay, then oh my God, get this thing off of me! I was stuck in there for way too long. Hello world, I'm here. Jesus, I never want to see that thing again.
And super gay.
Oh yeah, that's flaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
supposed to be Mickey Mouse?
Those are supposed to be the ears.
Those are Mickey Mouse ears?
This is definitely going to get us kicked off of Twitch.
Somebody lost their job at Disney over that balloon.
Well, it made me look at the bag of balloons that he got and did
double check
he get
that
some
shit.
sort of
everyone.
What store did he go to? Spencer's? What store did he
That
go
top one
to?
is definitely a boob. There's no doubt about that.
Isn't that awesome? Maybe I should make that my profile picture. Yeah, but don't.
Oh my God, if you would make that your profile picture, what would happen?
Well, I would just.
Would you get called in the office?
I would just
she's
love it if
making bibs that look like balloons that look like bibs.
TT Randall, the next one I pulled out was a real long, skinny one, and
it was yellow and it looked like a banana, delicious penis.
Yeah,
banana.
He's gonna go.
If I did put that as my profile picture and got called into the office, I would just keep a straight face and just I was just posting a picture for my son's birthday. Party balloons.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Oh my God. You got to do it. You have to do it now. It's like challenge. Do you accept the challenge? Are you going to escalate this? I want to know if you would take this moment, embrace it, and escalate it to its full potential. Like me and BB Rumble would. BB would accept the challenge.
Unemployed artist.
100% I would, yes.
BB, tell her the next picture she needs to post on. Let's vote. I'll tell you what, every week, let's do a thing where we vote. Can we do this, Jeannie? Where we vote on, you could show us a selection of pictures and we'll vote here in the big room as to what controversial photo you will change your Facebook profile picture to.
We
Slightly
can
controversial.
We can.
As long as
it's brilliant. It's the brilliant next photo.
Jafar provides the pool. She
Yes,
has the
correct.
pool photo. She goes, one of these 4 photos.
Yes.
I will post one of these 4 photos. And of course, it's not worth her job. That's why she has to post it. Because the concept that a deformed Mickey Mouse pink balloon would in some way endanger her job makes this world not worth living in. And that's the way it winds up. That's the kind of shit you got to put out there and just go.
Isn't that right, Donga Microphone?
Yeah, right.
Isn't that right, Penis Mike? You and I know.
Yeah, that's
You
the
and I
kind of
know
shit
the
you got to put that shit up there and just go.
Well, I have
it's-
one more month, and I make my 6-month. What's that called? Like when you've got 6 months that you're on probationary period.
Shouldered balloons are a no-go.
Yeah, no.
So I have to wait until after that.
Come on, we're talking about
That's 1
setting
month.
balloons here.
We're talking about a revolution.
You literally wait, hold on. You're caving to the man that you're afraid to post balloons on your profile picture. It's a balloon. Are you really?
No, I'm not afraid to post it. What I'm saying is I changed my profile picture to like a lovely family picture in which my knee is exposed, and I'm waiting to see if somebody says something about that. And then next month after I've finished the probationary period, then
next week.
No. No.
Come on.
I am Jafar. I cannot
Jafar.
You cannot Jafar. Hold on.
Not so far.
Not so far.
I definitely I don't have the charm and grace to Jafar. I don't have Jafar's Genie Jafar, that is. I have more of a Jafar.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a
it's much more abrasive.
Ad hoc manipulative.
Yeah, pretty much abrasive and controversial and confrontational.
Hey,
hand to K-Rock, everyone.
K-Rock, everyone. Hand to K-Rock.
Drink him if you got him, people. Take a sip.
Hand to K-Rock.
And make a cheers and a toast.
Cheers.
And put Cheerios on your
toast. This goes out to Bibbs, the universal love of boobs.
All right, now you know what? If I keep drinking that whiskey, I'm going to drink a lot of that whiskey, so I'm going to stop.
You can drink it. Drink it up.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Save me
I'm just saying that's a really good whiskey.
Why would you stop drinking it?
Because I kind of want to have some left over for A-Hawk.
So
yeah, let's put a little bit in my cup so we can.
I think you mean a-hole.
A-hole. Ooh.
K-Rock.
All right. Yeah, it's sexy. Talk sexy to me, baby. Talk to me more. Tell me more about your dirty dreams and family.
So one of the pictures that I'm going to put in the pool for you guys to vote on is a picture that I took of TK and the boys, and they're all snuggling in bed, and it's so cute.
But in
the picture, he's got his arm up like this, and the sheet is up, but he's not wearing a shirt, and you can see his armpit and armpit hair, and I think that might be one.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Yep. You're really pushing the envelope here. You're pushing this lady's buttons.
Shoulders.
And I say it's a lady. Maybe I'm being sexist. Maybe it's a man. Maybe it's a man that was complaining about that.
Diverse.
Lady makeup.
Right.
I'm gonna go get my armpit hair. I'll be right back.
Good man.
My merkin. I'm gonna go get my merkin. I'll be right back.
Well, I am aware of a gentleman who called in and was like upset because the teacher was talking about gender identity to a classroom full of students when the student asked about it. When a student said, "What, you know how there's a box for male and a box for female? What if you don't, adhere to one of those boxes?" And she just very cleanly and quickly summed up gender identity in a very lovely, PC, all-inclusive way. And we immediately received a phone call from a parent who was at home with the students.
Wow.
And they're a Christian family, and that doesn't exist in their world.
Yeah, vaginas and breasts don't exist in Christian families.
So no public school of mine is going to teach that forward-thinking gender identity.
Oh, sorry.
Then send your child so they don't hold back the education and progression of everybody. This is right. This is the problem. Send your child with your identity issues to a school that identifies with that.
Smaller minded school.
That's why Catholic schools exist. You don't want to go to a public school. We teach. Somebody has to stand up to that shit, though. Our education system's so broken.
I'm working on it.
Ad hoc. Where one person's voice, they think that they represent the other 99%, and it's the same thing that happens on media.
Ad hoc. Listen, here's where I'm working on it. Okay, so the person that I work for has to go talk to this person who, presented this concept, and he's fired up because there was a parent that was upset. And I have this unique opportunity because I've built a relationship with him to remind him that we are in a public school. She didn't use inappropriate language. These are the exact same conversations that I've had with my children who are young when they were younger than the grade that they're in. The Netherlands suggests that you start at 5 to talk about things like this with children because, I said, you can't dumb stuff like this down for kids. You wouldn't dumb down space. You wouldn't dumb down dinosaurs.
Because one person thinks that it's a flat world. My parents are flat worlders, so you can't teach
I
the
like
world
worlders.
around.
I like worlders.
Right.
Word
So-
Well, you get the point, right?
Yeah,
I can't say
yeah.
flat worlders right now. Maybe I've had a little bit more,
Flat earthers.
you know,
I
a
like
little bit too much to drink.
I
That's
think
my
all planets
choice.
are flat.
I'm adult.
And we just
Anyway,
But
But
they
what would
have
you
the
do in
right-
that situation? What would a public
So-
school do
so
in
it
that
turned
situation?
it turned down the volume on the person who had to speak to the other person about it. It turned the volume down.
You're
so
good
that
at
was
that,
good.
Jeannie.
The second thing that happened was the big guy who talked to me about my shoulders today
Jesus.
sent out
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Who we still don't know if he actually likes or listens to music at all.
No, but he's about to get a Black Cat Moan CD on his desk tomorrow. I'm dropping a Black Cat Moan and a sticker. I'm gonna leave him a Black Cat Moan CD on his desk and a sticker so that he can listen to the music.
I think when you
Ad
walk
hoc.
up to him, you should do a sticker slap on the front of his
You
desk.
might want to ease him in with a little Mozart
You'll never know
or
it.
something.
He
or
didn't-
Beethoven.
He didn't know what
Who's this
field
Beethoven character?
he
Not
didn't
sure if
know
I
what
approve
field
it.
recordings were. He didn't know what the field recordings were.
So she
He
was
was
giving
like-
him a
He was
musicology.
thrown in Footloose, and they put him in charge of a public school.
Yeah. So anywho,
The
Well,
town
like
of
a public
Footloose,
fool.
Kevin Bacon fought against so hard, and
so this guy
don't know,
sent
when
out a
was that?
letter to all of
1985?
us, and it's a
From
draft
the-
letter about how we're trying to do an
Don't call him the
anti-racism
mic.
clause in our handbook. Basically, we're trying to put on the record that we won't stand for racism. It's 2021, and we're putting something on the record
wow,
that we won't stand for racism.
oh my
I'm-
God,
So I'm thrilled that it exists, right? But as I'm reading through the language it's titled anti-racism clause or whatever. And as I'm reading through the language, like the second or third paragraph down, it says people of different race, religion, sexual preferences, identities, and it goes on and on and on. And there's a part of me that I went, wait a minute, those aren't racism. Racism defines being against somebody based on skin color. Prejudice, bigotry,
Is the
prejudice is against something.
all of the above.
All of those.
It's that
So-
damn English.
Yeah, so we were allowed to respond to him with the letter, and I did. I wrote back to him and brought up the fact that he used the word anti-racism, but then included this, and these are important things to include in this, but perhaps we want to, perhaps maybe you should change the title to an anti-bigotry.
Prejudice.
yeah,
title.
prejudice in any of its
Anti-numbering.
forms. You could do it, but great job, Jeannie Jafar, for being on the front line as an essential worker who's you're not in charge, you don't get to make the rules, but you're standing
great
up for
leaders.
what's right, and that's at risk of your job over something. It's so sad that by saying something that should be so obvious to so many, that you could actually,
Well,
you
see,
know,
we know.
this person's causing too many ripples. She's questioning me a little bit too much. We're not going to renew her contract. Like, that stuff happens.
Yeah,
Right?
hopefully that doesn't happen. But the thing is that we're privy to we have access to a lot of neighborhood, like-minded people, and a lot of their children. And pre-quarantine, of course, a lot of them spend times in our house and ours in their houses.
But they're all white and heterosexual and Christian, so it's okay.
That's not true.
Yeah,
That's not true. There's a lot of.
I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking.
There's a lot of diversity amongst the kids, and there's one child in particular that is exploring the idea of not identifying with one gender specifically, rather identifying with the idea that they are just a human. And this child has said that hair is hair and clothes are clothes and bathrooms are bathrooms. And
like, duh.
and I am a human. And
what the fuck are you guys all hung up about? This makes, what the fuck you
guys? So it's a little near and dear to my heart right now, because I'm like, yes, if we could get this kind of language in place, it would help to protect students that I know personally, as well as others. So yeah, it's definitely.
Man, it's a great conversation to have. It's worthy of fighting for.
And Jafar,
standing
honestly,
up for,
like, in all of the moments in our life, you being in the position that you're in, the universe has put you in by you aligning with it. It's amazing how much you can get done by being who you are in that position right now. Like, there's so many people that you're helping. Like, your prior occupation, you helped so many people on a one-on-one level. This is being the like the Tao would say, being the quiet voice that carries further than the gong, and it's just being like the voice of reason inside the system that didn't really have that before on a small scale. It's absolutely freaking brilliant. Everything you're saying is, everybody's like, well, no, duh. But in a small community, that isn't an option, because they haven't discovered that option on their own. So therefore,
well, thanks.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect.
Thanks. The other thing too, that I feel like I have a little bit of protection around me, like a little bit of bubble, because we are living in a community that my mom grew up in, and my granddaddy taught in the school district, and he was beloved in the community. I mean, I'm sure people don't come up to you and say like, oh yeah, I had your granddaddy for art. He's a real a-hole, but generally speaking, everybody that I've ever met, strangers, just tell me like how good and genuine my grandparents were, that they were honorable people, that they were, good community-bound citizens that were looking out for others, and they were
both
good
had great breasts.
No,
both of them.
What?
Inappropriate. The monk.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
Is it
the counterpart?
Is it really?
Like, of all of that, like, this is all about the fact that like the fear of the breast. So anyway,
so it's kind of nice to like put myself in the corner of those people and then go out swinging, knowing that they know that I come from people that were respected in the community. You know what I mean? Like,
built the community 50 years ago.
Yeah, helped make stuff happen.
Yeah, that's interesting. How many lives you can affect when you're a grade school or a middle school teacher. All these kids that go through over the years, and
in their malleable mind.
Yeah, and for the rest of their life, will remember you in a way.
Today I had a woman.
Or not, and
I had a woman call me on the phone, and she was a grandmother, and she heard about our Dr. Seuss night that we were having, and she wanted to participate in it, and she wanted a little more information because she's got a grandson that thinks would like it. And I said, sure, no problem. We have some extra bags that are the kits that go along with it. If you want to stop over, I'm happy to give you one because we have extra kits. And she was like, okay, that would be great. And she came over. She drives buses for the school. So she came over and to get a bag. And I don't between the time I hung up the phone and the time she came over, I don't know, she must have like asked around or something. She said to me, are you Leftwich's daughter? And I said, granddaughter. And she said, oh, I had him for art in high school. And so like right there, like as I'm doing something kind for her, she's remembering a teacher that she had, that she dug, and she works for the school district currently as a bus driver. So, it's just like this, like little,
It's all connected, and it's good to be a part of that. And yeah, I understand, when you're doing these open-minded activities, to feel grounded, because the open mind started 2 generations back.
And she has a koi pond in her backyard, and she invited us to come over. She lives just a couple blocks away, the monk. She invited us to come over and take a look at it, and she'd love to give us tips on how to put one in. She's had it there for 20 years, and it really makes a difference in the oasis of her backyard. She showed me pictures and everything.
Cool.
She was awesome.
Nice. In the meantime, I'm going to research fishing tips that I can give her, and maybe some recipes.
Well, apparently we're going to have a whole bunch of cicadas coming, and they're good as bait for fishing.
Yeah. Awesome. We're totally joking. And by the way, Jafar, as we were putting the lads to bed tonight, there was a discussion about the 17-year cycle.
Did you hear these cicadas are coming? Yeah. And the picture, picture says that their wingspan is 3 inches wide, and their body is 2.5 inches high.
17.
Those are not the parents that are coming out of the ground. Those are the mega babies that they're going to lay the eggs in the trees. Those are the ones that'll be born in late May, early June. And they said that the sound will be at 80 to 100 decibels, which is the same as a low-flying airplane or a lawnmower.
Is that awesome?
They also said they're considered arthropods, which are the same as lobsters and shrimp. They're like meat on the inside, shell on the outside. They're like land shrimp. So if you find a whole bunch of them in the tree, you can get them in the early morning when they're still lethargic, like when the dew is still fresh on the ground. You can go and get them, and then you can put them in the freezer, and it will kill them in the freezer, and then you can deep fry them and eat them after you've plucked the wings off. Of course.
Oh my gosh, Brian. BB,
it's happening.
You already got cicadas on the menu.
17-year delicacy.
Right. You guys are the only ones that have trees, because I live in the city, so I don't know if I'll see many of these. But definitely get some, and we'll eat live cicadas. Who out there watching us right now wants to see the Big Room Gang eat some frozen cicadas that are
17-year
fried?
Deep fried cicadas.
That's a nice aged.
But these are the babies of the 17-year-old babies.
I only eat baby stuff.
Is that a James? That's a James Hetfield reference?
Yeah, that's a James Hetfield quote.
Go ahead.
I only shoot baby stuff. I shoot the bait. I shoot the babies. Shoot the eggs. I only eat baby stuff.
It's almost worse than Ted Nugent's spouting. But
yeah. I was just last night I was watching I wasn't watching. I had on there's a show called The Crew, which is on Netflix now.
I've seen
it's not about Motley Crue. I don't want to see it.
Adverts about that.
It's like a sitcom.
Yeah, it's with the King of Queens, isn't it?
Kevin James, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
Mall Cop.
It seemed pretty sitcom. But oddly, given the conversation we just had, there was a scene in like the first or second episode where the concept is they're all they're a pit crew for a NASCAR race team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And their main sponsor is something big horses or something like that. It's a giant meat place. giant meat barbecue place, and so the sponsor comes by, and there's a new girl in charge of the team, and she wants to try and get more money, but she's got to do what he wants to do, and he wants to go out to the barbecue place and wants to take her out hunting, and it's a very stereotypical sitcom. What kind of hilarious situation can we put these characters into? And so he takes her out, and he's looking at a deer, and he's like, "There's a deer, it's your shot." And so she just points the gun in a completely different direction and shoots it, and she's like, "Oh, I missed," and he turns the binoculars. He's like, "Oh, no, you didn't shoot the deer. You did hit the baby deer." And she's like, "Oh no, is it okay?" No, it's not. Oh, but well, that's illegal. You're in a lot of trouble for this. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in what it tastes like, though. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in what it
You
tastes
shot the baby deer. You didn't shoot the big deer. You shot the baby deer, though.
Yep. It's not worth watching. But,
Yep.
but it was definitely an odd tie-in with this conversation.
Baby
You know the difference
cicadas.
between lamb and mutton?
Mutton. All we have is
There-
mutton.
Nothing but mutton to eat.
Nothing but mutton. I'm sorry. That is from a J.R. something book.
That's
Reference.
right, yeah.
$1.
Everything that's sold in supermarkets in the United States that's labeled lamb is actually mutton. It's not, because the lamb is the baby.
Of Jesus.
Mutton. Yeah.
Right?
The adult is
The Lamb of
mutton.
God. That's it. It's Jesus.
The baby's the lamb.
Eat it
And
up.
baby's the
they
lamb.
don't really get baby that fresh meat. It does taste slightly different.
Yeah.
You've given me a question.
What are we
Thank you.
talking about? What
We're
is
talking
happening?
about apparently eating the younger muscle of a living animal tastes more delicious because
It
the
does.
animal
Tastes different.
animal itself doesn't have as much sin involved in
Sinew. It's
muscular-
pronounced sinew.
Oh, sinew.
True.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Yeah. Sinew. And it's muscular.
It's not flooded with as much suffering over the years.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
You guys,
absolutely
we had fake sausages
Its
and
innocence is much more
kielbasa- or-
delicious.
What did we have? What was it? Sauerkraut and sausages tonight for dinner. So
Mhm.
good. Mm-hmm.
Sausages.
sausages in a blanket.
They were not blanketed. They were
No.
just cooked. And
Listen.
I loved the kids were outside playing in the rain because it was like the first
Plant-based,
nice day, and then it started raining, and they were outside playing. And when I called them in for dinner, they walked in, and the house was just wafting with sauerkraut, and they're like, "Oh, it smells so good in here." I was like, "Yeah, so good."
That's
So
a
glad
win.
that they
if
eat
you
that.
get your kids to say the sauerkraut smells good,
It
and
does.
you're not living in Germany, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's in their
Well,
DNA.
whenever the peppers and onions start sautéing in the kitchen, it's so funny because you'll be
And
standing at the
garlic.
stovetop, and all of a sudden, little blonde head of Fen will come around the corner, and he's just over the top of the countertop, and he'll be like, "Smells real good in here. What you cooking? what you making?" It's just peppers and onions at this point.
Oh yeah, that's all it takes, man.
Yeah,
It's just, he'll be somewhere else, and then all of a sudden his little moppety head comes into the kitchen, and he's like, "Smells good." Yeah. And then he's gone.
After he gets a taste,
Yeah, he has a little bite of it.
Right.
Mhm.
But right now, yeah, everybody has to
Butter and
realize
onions
that
and
there
garlic.
is a flavor equivalent of all of the muscle, all the animal, all the death and murder that everybody loves to consume. There is a plant-based equivalent that can be procured, that doesn't rape X amount of landmass, use X amount of water, use X amount of plants to feed the animal before
Hold on.
murdering and eating.
Stop right there.
It's wonderful. You're gonna love
What
it.
about though? What about cicadas?
Every 17 years.
Well,
Feeding
there's no vegetable version of cicadas.
Yet.
Doesn't exist. You can't buy Boca cicada.
Yet.
No, there's no Boca cicada tea. Are you going to eat the cicada scampi that Joey Randall's going to cook?
Morning
for?
Star
He's ready to cook.
cicada.
She's
Morningstar
saying cicada. Is it pronounced cicada or cicada?
You're not saying it right either time. Just so you know.
I'm not.
No, you said
I
is
only
it
get to pronounce it every 17
cicada?
years. How am I supposed to know?
It's a shit talking
I
Cicada.
only try to pronounce
Cicada.
that word every 17 years.
Flamil.
You know what? Ad hoc. I'm gonna-
Madonna Ciccone.
We're gonna
Cicada.
do it.
You're gonna do it. Every 17 years we'll cook it. Every
Kill their wings and eat their legs
Yeah.
off.
See, if you don't eat the
How
cicadas,
will I know?
they're gonna destroy all your crops. They're gonna destroy all the plants, and there will be no more plants to make
They're
Boca.
coming
So
for you.
it's
Fox
your job
News will
to
be the
eat
first
the
to tell you
cicadas.
they're coming for you.
We're eating
You know-
All right.
cicadas.
All right.
We're
All
eating
right.
cicadas.
Listen, I feel
You're in
like
on this,
there's
Jeannie.
Feel
there's
like
a
it's
very
weird?
big argument
You
happening
guys have to
here.
catch them.
We will
We're
catch
relying
them.
on you to catch them.
We will.
and
We will
freeze
be the cicada farmers. We will bring them in.
For the
We
United
will.
States.
We will put some in the freezer for you to eat.
Eat the
We
baby
will-
cicadas.
We'll make the
You
baby
can shoot them before
Could
you
you please repeat after me?
Go
Sit.
ahead.
Sin,
K.
sin,
No, sit. Sit.
Sit. K.
Say it again.
Sit.
Si,
K.
K,
Duh. Sit.
si,
K.
K,
Duh. Cicada.
cicada.
Bam.
Bam.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. What's the problem?
Okay. I've been saying the whole time, cicada.
Shakira.
Shakira.
Charcuterie.
Oh, Shakira. Shakira.
Chicarterie.
Shakira. I'm
I
pulling
think
up a
that's
Shakira.
all.
It's happening. It's happening.
Cicada matata.
Yes.
There will be no. There'll be no cicada macaque.
Shakuda. Charcuterie.
Cicada matata. Charcuterie.
Forever.
Right? I might have a little charcuterie after this.
Little charcuterie.
Little charcuterie here. BB, BB. You know the TV show Friends. I always really enjoyed quoting that show. There was an episode where Joey is trying to learn French. Phoebe is trying to help him. She is saying all of the correct words. He is just saying fleep de floop after her. She gets very frustrated. It's hilarious. So one night I was out, this is again pre-pandemic, I was out drinking with my buddy Kelsey, who was a guest on this show one evening, and I was trying to teach her how to say the word February.
Oh, yes.
And I have a video recording of her repeating after me every, syllable, Feb, Rue, airy, February. Over and over and over again. February. She'd say it like
February.
17. It was so painful. It was awesome. And I have it on video for later
Nice.
in life.
Nice.
Life for life.
For life.
Can I get a screen share?
Ooh, we're going there, everybody.
I don't have any requests from you.
I need to do that.
Watchers
Sir?
of the big room.
Okay.
With the beard.
Da.
All right. Coochie coochie.
Oh my.
Coochie coochie. Everybody say it. Come on, say it with me.
Coochie coochie.
Coochie coochie. Charo.
Why are we doing this?
Oh, that's old Charo. That's old Charo. Well, after she learned how to play
Yeah,
guitar, where's young Charo?
How are you going to get us after an hour and 36 minutes? You're going to get us banned for Charo?
Wait, this is Charo from 1974.
Yes. Yes.
MDA was
That's my new profile picture right there. Right there.
1974, Charo.
You will be fired from the past.
Immediately.
1974.
Immediately.
It's
Look
the
at
time
that.
police. The time police.
So good.
It's almost ass crack cleavage.
So good.
Natural born nose job, by the way.
Where should she say kitchen kitchen? Kitchen kitchen. Kitchen kitchen. Anyway, Charo went around saying coochie coochie back in 1974. And
raising
here's
money
Shakira.
for me. She's raising money for me.
For BB Rumble.
This is the point where I get us kicked off the stage. We dance all day in this house.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right.
Her voice sounds like Boz Scaggs' female version.
Sounds like what?
It sounds like
Boz, the female version of Boz Scaggs' Muppet voice.
The way you move your body, girl. And everything's so unexpected, the way you write the lyrics.
It's a good call.
Okay.
when it came on, I was like, "Is that real?" Let's see some bean death.
You make a woman go mad. So be
I think that's
wise.
awesome.
See some Boz Scaggs.
Reading the signs of my body.
Sing just like Boz Scaggs.
I got cut. I got cut.
Just like Boz Scaggs.
I got cut.
It wasn't.
Let's see
The
some.
video wasn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't reaching
You
the
couldn't
level.
handle
it's
it.
gotta
You couldn't
be,
handle all the hip shaking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It was just. It was. You should have stuck with Charo there.
Let's see some bean death.
What?
You heard me.
Bean death.
Show me a bean death.
Hey Hawk. She wants a bean death.
What is a bean death? How am I?
What
Oh,
is
of course.
a bean
That
death?
guy.
What
That
is a
guy.
bean death? Don't worry, baby.
Thank
I'm
you.
not talking about you, Twister. You can just lay back down here, sweet girl.
All right. So my question is, what was the first movie that Sean Bean was murdered in? Is that his name? Scam Bean?
Yeah, that's his name.
Take
Bim
it full
Beam?
circle.
It's all right.
Twist Bean? What was the first movie that he was killed in?
Spin the bean.
It would have to be the first movie he was
Bean.
in, right?
Correct.
Death
That
of
was
a
a trick
Bean.
question.
Did he
Here.
ever start a movie called Spin the Bean?
Spill the bean.
Spin.
Spill the
Spill the
beans.
beans.
Spin the bean.
Kill that girl. Spill the beans.
Here you go.
I guess Spin the Bean never caught on, huh?
Taste the bean. Flick the bean. Hey, what happened to Shizzle, by the way? Where's Riggedy Sizzo?
Talking about a clitoris people.
That's
talking
correct.
about clitoris people.
You're gonna get us kicked off. Don't say that word.
Oh, we can say it. We can say anything we want. We just can't
Can't
show
show
it.
it.
Or make any hand gestures that allude to such.
So this is BB's favorite bean death.
Oh yeah.
It's not his first though, is it?
No.
heart's on tonight, and my hips on high, and I'm trying to feel the ball.
It was awesome.
I see you dream, Preston.
I'll do what I can to see they go easy on you.
We both know they never go easy.
Then I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
That audio sucks.
Meaning. It's just a vestigial word.
Yeah, it's almost like they're in the same room with each other on Twitch.
It's
Everything that makes us what we are.
not fluid.
There's no war. No murder.
What is it you think we do?
You've been with me. You've seen how it can be. The jealousy, rage.
Heavy coast.
Death by reading.
Gladly.
Yates.
Oh, oh,
Yates. Yates. What? All right.
That audio was so low, I couldn't hear anything. But
It was all skippity doo dah too.
I never seen. I don't know. I don't remember that scene. That was cool though.
it's a real Debbie Downer moment right there.
Yeah,
I
I just don't
apologize for
understand.
asking for bean death.
Yeah.
Bean death.
I was wondering how we got there from Shakira.
Shakira. Shakira.
The hips don't lie.
Shakira, King, Shakira.
Shakira. So we got no Rev from across the pond. Phoebe.
Miss the Rev,
he's-
miss the bones.
yeah.
Under the weather. Rev under the weather. The weather. He said he hasn't quite been feeling quite reverent.
As long as he doesn't have the Rona.
What does that matter?
Revy
here?
Rona. Hey, you big room friends of mine, I'm a little bit due to be heading towards my
Heading for the
bedtime
bedding.
routine so that I can kick ass tomorrow and make good decisions and influence
Inside the machine.
people's lives. And
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna head to the bathtub and then to the bed. But I love you guys and thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And thanks for letting me tell my story. I needed a little bit of validation because there was a part of me that was like, what?
And
That was a good story. I'm glad
before
you brought it on, and it was really good. I think we got a lot of community engagement too, and all of our thousands
Before-
of fans. We love you, and thank you
you.
for supporting Team Jafar.
The answer to your question, by the way, is apparently a character named Ranuccio in a movie called Caravaggio in 1986.
Caravaggio was an
First
artist.
on-screen death.
Wow.
Thank
It's about
you.
Caravaggio, the artist. Fascinating.
What was
And
the
apparently there was
character's
a movie,
name?
Ranuccio.
Ranuccio. That's our
That's
third.
made up. For sure.
That
Ranuccio.
was way back. That was way back in 1986. The first one that I recognize,
Uh-huh.
Patriot Games, 1992.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Might have
Yeah,
to
he
bring that
played-
up.
He was a German
This is a guy
soldier in
named
the
the Bean?
movie Sean
The
Bean.
Jafar, thank you so much for being here tonight in the big room. I appreciate living my life with you, but on Wednesday nights when we're all together, it's pretty excellent as well. Another
I love you guys. And
Much love.
ad hoc, give love to Rizzle Schnizzle for me, please.
I'll tickle his feet for you, girlfriend.
Super duper.
Tickle.
Tell him.
Rizzle says, "Oh Jesus."
Oh, Twister just winked. She was like, "What's happening?"
Don't worry, baby. It's all good. Don't worry.
I'm
You don't have to go back to bed.
Don't be
All right,
scared.
love you guys. Talk to you later.
We're all
Much
trapped
love.
in this bitch.
Bye,
Much
Big
fun.
Room, Twitch
Be
World.
safe out there.
Bye.
Cheers.
We support and love all genders on this channel.
All identities. All identities.
All identities, sexual and cultural and religious.
Spiritual?
Yeah,
Say
spiritual would
spiritual.
be better. We'll go with spiritual.
But above all, we respect, we accept them all, but we respect the open mind. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. If you're not,
That's pretty cool. Look at that. You can see me waving. Bye bye.
Yeah, you're blowing
That's
my mind.
gonna be my new thing.
That's good. That's a good new thing to have. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like we might have lost BB, by the way.
He looks pretty frozen to me.
He looks frozen
Poke
in the
him.
toes.
Poke him, see if
Frozen
you
in
can
the
wake
toes.
him up. Poke him. Poke him.
Oh, I
it
woke him
worked.
up.
It
I woke him
worked.
up. There he is.
worked.
There he is.
You poked him with
He's
the
alive.
stick.
Whew, he came out of cold freeze.
Oh my God, we thought we lost you there for a minute, BB.
I was. Everything was. I could only see Ad Hoc. I couldn't see anybody else.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. I don't mean that in a bad
Just
way.
can't. No.
The eternal ad hoc
The eternal ad hoc coming at you, flickering. His
coming at
vortex.
ya. Humming, coming at ya.
Hey, now we're gonna get you.
Full circle, bitch.
Well, everybody, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It is we're at the 1 hour 47 mark and 1/2.
We got 13 more minutes. Anything you guys would like to see us do out there?
You
or
better
talk
request
about?
it now because it's gonna. This is the 13-minute of weird. When you request it, we deliver.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be
every
weird,
week.
The weirder
It
the
just-
better.
No, that's what it is. It's 13.
Shut us
minutes of weird. That's
down.
what it's called.
Bring it.
That's the name. The name is the 13 minutes of weird.
13
That's the
minutes of
name of it.
weird.
That's what it is. Every
Ask
week.
us your questions.
Every
As
week.
long
at
as
one
we can answer it in
hour and
13
47
minutes or
minutes.
less,
This is your time.
it's on.
That was
It's
it.
time to shine. Bring
We're
your
waiting.
it.
We're here
let
waiting.
your weird flag fly.
Any question?
Weird
Any
ass.
dare that doesn't get us knocked off of Twitch?
Dares and questions. 13 minutes of weird. Bring it. Shalom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Down to 12 minutes of weird. Down to 12 minutes of weird.
You're blowing
The
it.
first minute
You're
wasn't that
blowing it.
weird. The
First minute might have blown your
It's a little
mind. You
weird.
didn't even think about it. You're kind of freaking out, like, oh my God, how weird can I get? Well, you can get
How
that
weird does it
weird.
get?
Dive deep into the cockles of your weirdness. Dance.
I think that's for
That's
that's for ad hoc.
Dance, 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 dance.
The lip.
Dance, 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 dance.
No,
No, all the
yes.
questions are coming now.
That's pretty
That's
true.
funny.
She's
That's
got
good.
us there.
Truth.
She got us there. That,
She
yeah,
caught you
well,
out.
you know.
When you're looking
It's
at the
coming from
upper
the-
half,
Is that
It's
the
the
person we
lower
really
half.
want in charge of the prejudice?
Yeah, you
layer
can't
and
see
all
what's
that?
happening below the
That's
the,
just
the screen
yeah.
now.
That's
where all the soul
You
is.
can't
below.
see that. You can't see
That-
the hips.
that's the video clip right there that your opponents use against you now.
That your opponents use against you. That's funny.
I am
All
always
right.
getting summoned to dance. What is this? This is like 3 weeks in a row.
We got what 10 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Shakira, Shakira.
What's it going to be? Do we have any questions come in that time?
I want to know out there who prefers Shakira.
Oh yeah,
over
we had
Charlie.
this. Here was a question.
Monk, do you have a new girl? I saw a painting you're working on online, and she looks like someone new, different. Oh, that's funny. No, do you know what? I have been. I don't know how to answer that. I've been looking at I've been studying different artists lately, and in that genre there is a different proportion range. So the eyes have gotten larger than Jafar's, and the lips have gotten fuller, which Jafar has a big eye, and whatnot, and thin. And lately it's gotten something popped up where it got a little bit different in a way. It's almost in the Juxtaposed magazine mentality, which was based off of in the 60s, the large-eyed kind of Japanime figure. Hold on, I'll pull. She's referring to this.
I think she just wants to see it. Just bring it close.
I will. Hold on.
The one in the background, you're going the wrong way. BB, tell him it's the one in the background. She wants to see one in the background.
It's the one in the background. Damn it.
Thank you. I don't know. Apparently, you can't hear either of us. Harry!
It's the one in the back.
Around the world in a day.
All right, we'll do it real quick. Sorry. Did I interrupt?
Headset, yeah. What's what? No, I think people were asking about the one in the background.
Oh, her? Really? I thought she was talking about the one online that I just.
She did say online. All right, show us all of them now. We're down.
So, no. I want to get it. It's this face. This is definitely in the genre. It's a slightly more Japanime vibe. In a way, it's a softer cheeked instead of the high cheekbone that I usually go with. The more.
Were you inspired by? Were you inspired by Apollo Smile the other week? Is that what happened?
Maybe I was. Maybe I was.
Oh yeah,
it
maybe.
Kind of reminds me.
Same.
She's
very
totally got an
colors.
Apollo Smile vibe, dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
she
can see
totally
that.
got
Kind of reminds me of, in a way, as I was going through it. It was
Very European still.
That's not the one.
European
to say.
face. That's
Oh,
not a
wait.
Chinese
I know.
face.
So it reminds me. She kind of reminds me of Drew Barrymore. Burn you up, fry you. She kind of reminds me of what's that one singer?
Yeah,
She
right.
makes those horribly depressive songs that are all about Hollywood. What's her name?
Billie Eilish.
No, before Billie Eilish.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Something with an L as well, isn't it? I can't remember right now. Tells her singer's
She reminds
name.
me a little bit of. She reminds me a little bit of Jodie Foster.
That's Mazzy Star. Jodie
Oh,
Foster.
yeah, not Mazzy Star. You were thinking of that other. I know who you're talking
What
about.
the hell's her name? She sings about like.
She was very Mazzy Star inspired.
totally in the last like decade. Oh, what the hell's her name?
Yeah, and they still play her songs on the radio.
Laura. No.
She's a little wafy with the blonde hair.
No, not her. She is dark hair. This is the other one I thought that she was talking about. This kind of meditative alien piece, but it's not. Those are the two figurative pieces I'm working on. What the hell's that her name? I'll figure it out. Anyway, inspired by nothing but the next movement, Yeah.
And the one in the background?
Oh,
she gets no love. She stays. You want to see her? You got to come back next week.
Yeah, come back next week. No, this is definitely much looser. This is where it started from. This is like 3 paintings before the ones that I was just showing you. So nice and loose, very abstract, open spaces, texture.
That's enough to get
I'm
Jeannie
looking
fired
forward-
from her work, though. If she posts
Yeah.
that, she puts that up as her profile picture. That's enough to get her fired, or at least called into the office again. Do you like paintings? Is this what
Do you like paint? Do you like paint?
Do you like art?
Do you like art? Is that
Like-
something that you
Art?
like?
We don't
art?
really do art. We don't really do art here.
No, our brains don't do art here.
There's no
Yeah.
funding for music or for art. I don't understand
Yeah.
why you would even bring it
Or
up.
for farts. Yeah. What the hell's her name? What's that damn artist? I don't know.
I have no
Not much of
idea.
an artist.
It's
I'll
not
get back to
it's
it
not
next week.
the wavy girl with the blonde hair. You said
No,
your
she has
picture somebody's
dark hair, and she sings these horribly hipster, depressing songs. They're very cinematic.
Okay.
Starts with an L.
Liam Neeson.
Can't think of it.
Except
It's Liam Neeson.
It's Liam Neeson, but it's just all one word, and she's a female.
Taylor Swift. Nope. It's post Taylor Swift.
Post Taylor Swift?
I'm sorry. After. Anti.
So
What is this called? Yeah.
It's
post Taylor
later
Swift.
then. Okay, so it's more
Later
recent.
than. Yeah, within the last 10 years. Taylor
So
Swift's
it's
been
more-
around
it's-
for fucking decades. Like, she's an immortal.
I see.
Pretty much an immortal.
Pretty much. She's been around for a long time, dude. Anyway, doesn't matter. She doesn't matter either.
Long live Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong to Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
So,
Right.
everybody, it's been really excellent having you all here tonight. We've thanks for coming back again. We are sending Risotto into his journey. He's
To
going to
the
be gone
desert?
into
He
the
throws up
desert
peace-
for
he
2
throws
weeks.
up the peace sign.
Yes, indeed. It was very successful conjuring.
By the way,
Listen,
I did tell Riggedy to make sure he was safe out there because he's going to be in the Phoenix area, and that's one of the.
Is it a hot
He's
zone?
going to be in the Phoenix area around March 4th, which
Yeah.
is the next planned action against the government by the
Are you kidding
QAnon
me?
Trump people. Yeah,
Really?
March 4th.
Why March
Yeah, it's
4th?
March 4th. Excellent question. I wish we had enough time to answer it
So
because I filled Riggedy in on it yesterday, and it is amazing. It's an amazing story.
oh, we don't have enough time? We got
no,
3
we only
minutes.
got 3 minutes. I know.
I
We're
want
gonna
to
have
know.
wait.
You'll have to wait till next week. Okay. So so the QAnon folk, which have wild conspiracy. You know, I want to say something about the QAnon that occurred to me today. Is that the amazing thing is that there was a whole thing about Russian interference with the elections, and then the Republicans who were claiming Russian interference with the elections immediately started believing and trusting the word of a hidden character named Q, where nobody knows where he's from. And everything that he says is complete nonsense, just like a Russian bot would say. But nobody's made the connection that Q might be the Russian bot that they feared all along.
K-Rock was
they fell right into
telling
it. It's
me-
amazing.
K-Rock told me about this March 4th thing, and then pulled it up on CNN and showed me, that March 4th is the next planned action, and that's when Trump will actually get instated as the president. And she was like, but no one's saying why. Yeah, no one's saying. I mean, no one on TV was saying why it was going to be March 4th. So she put me in charge of like, you got to investigate this. Go investigate.
Find out why.
So
Fascinating.
I looked into the QAnon history and all that, and found a TikTok video of this girl talking with thousands of responses of QAnon people backing her up and saying, "Oh, you guys won't believe this story. It's unbelievable." And that the followers are fucking buying into it. Like they're actually buying into it. Like it's all over. Yeah, if you go to the QAnon
Well,
site,
if you want to find out, you can either stick around or see you next week.
We got one more minute.
Thank you so
and
much.
I gotta say,
we have
somewhere out there,
actually
Q is
17
laughing.
seconds.
Q is laughing. Whoever
17
Q
seconds.
is, he's got to be like, or she, or they.
Thank you. Good night.
Can you hear this, T? Are you able to listen? No, T's gone. Where's
He's
T
gone.
going?
Well, it's 11, so he thought we were gonna roll the credits.
Yeah, but he wants to hear the credits.
Oh, T, come back. We're about to roll credits. Maybe he had to pee.
Yeah. He's got.
You'll have to watch it in post. But Bri, everything's going good.
I don't think he
We're
wants
good.
to. Yeah.
Are we hanging? Are we
We're
doing any
great.
post show? Is there any post show?
Yeah. If T was coming back, I'd run the credits.
Well, you got to run the credits because it's 11.
I can't, man.
so
I can't.
We're gonna have to run them twice. We're gonna have to run them twice.
Where there he is.
Go home. Go home.
You got to be here to listen to the
Roll
credits.
them. Roll the credits.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana
All
Del
right,
Rey.
good night.
MT, you wanted to see the credits? Here they
Good
come.
night, everyone.
Something too.
Wizard Man, summons from across the pond. Rev. Wizard Man,
Good stuff.
Wizard Band.
summons from the frozen land. Singing it out.
Oh my god.
I can't believe it. That's insane. Wow, BB. That's amazing. That's hilarious. That I love the whole thing. It blew my mind. And that you finished it with that? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. I said.
I had no idea.
You're like,
I
what
said
is
Rev
this
last week,
scene
I
of?
like-
And then it's FVDO.
Yeah, when I listened to Rev's music last week, I was like, dude, send me a copy. I got some ideas of how to put the video together. I put it together this week. And just grabbed some of the clips and got some of that. Worked in some Homer Simpson and some Crow and some Highlander. And
Oh, and D&D, but dude, the covers from all of the D&D books from back in the day is brilliant.
right?
Took me there.
Right.
But I like when
And good.
when the Rev was added, you went to the
Right.
D&D cartoon of this many members,
With a
and
voice,
then when resist,
right?
it was this many members.
Anyway,
But the fact that
Yep.
you went to FPDO at the end, I honestly had no idea. When I went and I had to urinate, and I came back and I was joking, saying, "What are you guys doing here? Go home."
right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that-
right. Oh my god. That was FVDO. That's the
Yeah.
ending.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
That's the
god.
ending. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. FPDO.
Wow. There you go. That's perfect.
That's of like mine. That is the synchronicity. Wow,
Right?
BB. That
Nice.
killed me. That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I had fun. I had fun with it.
time.
By the way, I have to tell you, when I was watching it, it did freeze up on that scene.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know if there's something with the copyrights or not that it's freezing up.
Are you?
Oh,
Is it easy for you to add more clips to that since you hang on every clip for a long time? Is it easy? You know,
Yeah, I can-
are you gonna do some editing
Yeah.
to it? Or is this
I can-
going to
if
be an
we are-
evolving?
we can do whatever we want to. I mean, like, if there's other clips that we want to throw in there, I can shorten how long different things are on the screen. And,
I loved it.
I mean, the
I love that
music
it's
is
the Rev's
so
music.
long.
The Rev's
That
music.
was the thing.
Music by the Rev.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it should say that somewhere up there. Music by the Red. Does it? Maybe it does. Excuse me.
It doesn't, but I'm sure we can add that. I'm sure I can add that in there right at the beginning. But
I'd like
begin
to
with the
watch
same
it again.
scene. All right. I've watched it a couple
Yeah.
times today. I think it's hilarious. Homer
I do.
Simpson.
Oh, that was a good call.
It comes in such a
Why
perfect
that
time to-
particular scene of Homer Simpson out of all the Homer years worth of Homer Simpsons? Why the baseball scene?
It's because it's hilarious to me. It's a perfect time, first of all, and it says the timing on it's perfect, and just for him just to be up and play and like a clunk and then fall over there, eyes wide open, just falls right over. It goes right with the music. It just kills me. It just kills me.
All right, cool. That's all I wanted to know.
All right, here,
I knew there was a reason.
here it is. Here it is again.
Something too.
Wizard Man summons from across the pond. Rev. Wizard Man
Good stuff.
Wizard Man!
summons from the frozen land. Wiggity sizzle.
All right.
That's excellent. That's so good, dude.
The spark
And then
beginning with the beer. Is that what you're gonna say, T?
yes, exactly. Ting.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
little
was
thing.
awesome.
Ichabod the Avenger pops on.
Ichabod the Avenger. Yeah, you bring attention to that, and then it comes to us, and then it looks like my head explodes, and then I make you guys head explode afterwards.
which usually happens.
There's
in that
just three.
sequence.
Yeah, there's three different effects happening on each of us. There's, T's got some rainbow swirlies going on, and I've got a
I do. Every day
sci-fi
of my life.
vortex, and
Every day of your
you've got
life.
like an explosion happening on yours.
Every day of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was- I do love when you do you got the wizard beard summons for across the pond, and then it cuts to the different characters,
so good.
and then you got the riggedy sizzle summoning, and then there's a weird clip that I'm like frowning, and I'm not sure why it hangs on that for so long. But one of the things, the crow, you have the crow in there, which is
Yeah.
man, you love that movie, bro. That's why I made it in there.
It's
Tell
from
us
the
about
it's
the crow. Why'd you choose the crow?
I mean, we worked it into we had it in our D&D.
Nothing is
video,
trivial.
man. Nothing is trivial.
Nothing. Oh
Nothing's
yes,
trivial.
nothing is, okay. Got you. Okay, I see the connection. Another thing that would be cool to throw in is with the crow is crow.
Oh, Hawk the
Have the
Slayer.
crow,
The crow.
and then right after crow.
Crow and Crab.
That'd be cool, right? Like have the crow hang because you have him hanging
Yeah.
there for a while. I don't know if there's enough time, but I thought that when I saw the crow, I was like, you read crow, and then for
Crab.
me, in my
You think
I can't
crow.
even hear the
Crow.
word crow anymore without picturing that crow.
Yes,
So-
1979, is it? Hawk
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Slayer?
yeah.
1979, Hawk the
Which
Slayer.
was
so,
also
yeah.
a big
Yeah,
I love that
Got a lot of-
soundtrack.
lot of love from the big
Such a
room.
good soundtrack. Oh,
But the fact, yeah, that we had it. in
to those who don't know, that sounds hilarious, and it just.
It's but then when you hear it, you'll go, "Fuck!" That's exactly what it was. I do. You're right. That's what it was. I remember now.
That's what it sounds like.
Magic.
I feel like I've heard this before. Oh,
All right.
Yeah. The crowd.
Crow.
right? Always should have been a sequel to that movie.
Lana Del Rey, by the way.
Lana
Okay.
Delicious.
I have a story about her, a near-death experience where I jumped into another quantum reality, and it has to do with Lana Del Rey. But I'll tell that in another story. But I must bid you adieu.
You're leaving us?
Yeah. I got it tomorrow. Had a long day. Had a bunch of meetings today.
Do you want the quick version of the March 4th?
Oh, okay. I'll stick around for that.
Yeah, I got to drive Riggedy to the airport. He needs to be there by 7.
Ouch.
We all got early mornings tomorrow.
Here's the quick version of the March 4th.
Okay.
So I'm ready to party all night, is what I'm saying.
We dance all night in this house.
Yeah, that's right.
Stay up all night, might as well. It's right around the corner.
All right. The March of the 4th. The March of the Hatters. Let's hear it.
Here's the actual reasoning from the QAnon folks and the response to the Trump supporters.
Okay.
The actual reasoning. Joe Biden on January 20th
I think I know what it is.
did not actually become the president of the country of the United States of America.
Okay.
He became the president of a business, a corporation. The name of the corporation is the United States of America. And this corporation has their headquarters in London.
Interesting choice.
Right? Yes. This corporation has their headquarters in
Oh,
London.
hence the revolution that's about to come to severing our ties to London. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So Biden right now is actually the president of that company. So has every other president since 1872.
Why 72?
Ulysses S. Grant was the last president of the country of the United States. But then apparently, if you read the next 3 or 4 amendments,
Can't write this.
if you read the next 3 or 4 amendments in the right mindset, according to QAnon,
This is very L. Ron Hubbard. Let's go.
it becomes clear that the country,
Clear.
the United States of America, is being dissolved and replaced with a company whose headquarters will be in London, England.
And not Trump Tower. Really?
So
Fascinating.
every president since 1872 has been the president of this country, but finally,
company.
Right, of this company. But finally, on March 4th, the military, the United States military, is finally ready to give a rebirth to the country, bring back the country of the United States. So that's when the military is going to arrest Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, and Nancy Pelosi. And March 4th, which was the original inauguration day prior to 1872. It used to be March 4th.
Oh.
But the company changed it to January 20th. So
Why?
on March 4th, I don't know. I didn't want to get into that. On March 4th, Trump will become the 19th president of the United States.
Wow.
In Vietnam, there were 19. No, 19.
And therefore bring back the country.
That is some deep
And the responses, the comments.
state shit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the comments are, oh, this makes so much more sense. I was wondering, I was so upset over January 20th. This makes so much more sense.
Wow.
So there's a plan for apparently Washington D.C., Philadelphia, and multiple cities in Arizona, which is why I told Riggedy, hey, be safe out there. If you're in the desert, stay in the desert. Just stay in the desert. Don't go into on March 4th.
So wait, the protests or wait,
Apparently,
happened in
It's
Arizona?
not a protest; it's a revolution.
It's a revolution, yeah.
revolution begins in Arizona, and what
Wow,
other states?
presto, viva la revolution.
The 3 locations
Thank
they said
you.
was this is also shows you how important it is.
6,000.
The 3 locations they mentioned was one was a state, Arizona, one was a district, District of Columbia, Washington, and then one was a city, Philadelphia. So those are the 3 areas: Philadelphia, Washington D.C., and Arizona are going to be the 3.
Oh,
What? Wow! So tune in to Fox News on March
for the
4th.
fever, the Fox,
Yeah.
your Fox fever of fuck all.
So there you go. That was the
Wow,
that's what's happening now.
that's
I posted something recently on my Facebook again, like Fox News. The whole thing that happened in Texas this past week, and they're like, well, it's the windmill's fault. Which, if you look at any of the facts, if you pay attention to facts and not faith,
why?
then if you haven't completely sorted out all facts on anything because of your religious faith, therefore you need to just all facts just gone. I'm just completely done with them. Then you can see that the windmills only make up less than 10%, only about 7% of the grid. And, that they didn't insulate and get to the bottom of like what actually happened in Texas. But Fox News is broadcasting that it's due to the windmills. And somebody posted on a comment thread to me today that Fox News is registered the way that they like when in their formation, they registered their channel as an entertainment channel, not a news channel. And that's how they get away with doing all this crazy shit, because they never from the SEC, from the Federal Communications Commission, FCC,
would have shut them down years
Federal
ago.
Communications,
right.
They filed their legal paperwork as an entertainment channel, not a news station, not a news channel. So they don't have the same regulations as a news channel, but they present themselves as a news channel. And that's why they can do all this stuff that's so harming, clearly harming to our country. And Lemon Blade posted on it today and said they should have to disclose this, like in big letters, like this is an entertainment channel, because people are falling for absolute nonsense. Our education system, as we taught to bring this full circle, it has to bend over backwards to please minorities of people that might be flat earthers. And so what? You can't teach the facts anymore because you're going to offend one student
of moving
out
forward.
Of hundreds. So this is the world we're living in. It's the same thing on media. They give equal time to minorities of thoughts. And when people watch them and they see that they're getting equal time, it portrays it as though this fringe, crazy, eccentric lunatic that like half the country believes it. And if you do that enough and you give them equal time, apparently the result is that half the country falls in line with the lunatic. All right? I mean,
much more entertaining.
If this is the thing, like the news stations are saying, well, this lunatic's perspective is, they just came out of an insane asylum, but we're going to give them equal time with a scientist that like is credible and has a 10-year degree and an MBA. But when you give them equal screen time, it literally divides the country. Some people fall in line with the lunatic.
When fact is fiction and TV reality. That's from Sunday Bloody Sunday by the band U2.
TV reality. Yeah.
1980, maybe 81, when fact is fiction and TV reality.
Bros, I say this last 4 years is going to be studied for the next 100 years on so many levels.
On a sociological level, yeah.
Stephen Colbert said on a broadcast, I think it was last night, he was like, on like, you can't write this stuff. And he's like, you jumped the shark in 2020. Jumping the shark is like when you, in a sitcom,
the Fonzie reference,
so ridiculous.
Yeah,
yes, it is right. It's like it's so ridiculous that you lose the suspension of disbelief from the viewer because you jumped the shark and it's stuck. But in 2020, it's like you've had the whole QAnon thing, plus a pandemic. Come on, you just jumped the shark with that one. It's too much.
It's too much.
But it happened. It all happened.
Don't happen enough. Fantasizing. Fantastic times we're living in, folks. So, where do you want to live? It's been wonderful. Again, cheers. Oh, and by the way, I think Philadelphia was chosen because it's one of the birthplaces of our nation where a lot of
I'm
stuff
sure the concept is going to be, it's going to be people coming from outside. It's not going to be people inside Philadelphia.
Right.
It's going to be Trump people saying, hey, let's all drive up from West Virginia. Let's all drive up from,
the outer limits.
West Virginia.
I'm just wondering if are people after what happened at the,
Oh, I'm sure there'll be
security wise. Is you worrying about security now, or is that?
Are there going to be enough crazies that are actually going to come up and? There are a lot of cute people. I mean,
crazy is as crazy. Stupid is as stupid does. So.
It'll say. Well, I mean, it could be a March 4th could be a barometer, as to how deep seated is the crazy in America overall. Okay, 70 million people still voted for Trump after the last 4 years. A few 10,000 of them went to a protest, and of those 10,000, a few thousand wound up storming the Capitol. So and then a lot of those are winding up getting arrested and getting put, charges and whatnot. So how many more people out there are going to be like, yep,
it's worth it.
It's worth it. March 4th.
Totally this is the time. But it's a revolution. And they stung me in the face. But it's a revolution.
One of the things I saw is that out of those 70 million, 70% of them still believe that Trump is the just president, that the election was fraud. Yeah. So 70% of the 70 million still believe that Trump is the righteous president, or whatever you want to say. Like he got frauded, and he's the real president. Like that's a lot. That's a high percentage. Brian, do the math on that. 70% of 70 million.
49 million.
So the potential is then 49 million. Like that, this Q could have an effect on them.
Over the course of the next 4 years, Q could try to cultivate that 49 million.
At this point, I'm sitting back and eating popcorn. I'm just like, I'm not going anywhere near DC. You know what I'm saying? I just like, let's see what happens, because
stupid is as stupid does.
But I legitimately, I mean, I'm all for free speech, but there is a point where, it was actually it was Purple Rain, I think, that had what was the parental, like on the albums, that it was like parental advisory stickers.
Oh yeah, that was coming out. That was the Tipper Gore parental advisory. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Zappa and Alice Cooper.
I think Purple Rain, actually, I think it was around 84.
Darling Nikki set it off, man.
Darling Nikki, that's right. Mm-hmm. So, but these news stations that claim that they're news and aren't really news, they're just propaganda stations. They really, I will side with Tipper Gore if she would apply that same logic to this scenario.
Entertainment.
It needs to be labeled, because too many dumb Americans are falling for it, and they do it really well. And I will say this.
Oddly enough, it's the same.
He's one of the worst. I mean, he's one of the best.
Yeah,
but he's one of the worst defenders because he's so good at it.
Oddly enough, I would say of that percentile, the majority of them still believe that professional wrestling is real.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same belief system.
I know.
Of that entertainment and, duality of, the hero and the villain, and these extremes of, being put together in a single ring, and they're going to battle every week. That mentality that believes it and buys into it is probably the same mentality that is buying into all of this duality of when two tribes go to war. You know, if you remember that video from the 80s where
That was a cool
Reagan
song.
was, well, if you
Duran
remember the
Duran. It
music
wasn't
video,
Duran Duran. Who was it?
it was Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and in the music
Nice.
video, Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev were in a wrestling ring together,
Right.
and they were fighting it out and blooding each other's noses. And this is actually, I think, what America wants. You know, that's what they'll finally believe in.
Shock Jock.
I mean, fuck Schwarzenegger's, you know, the governor of the place. You know, if you look at The Fifth Element, Zeus is the galactic president. Any way you look at it, there's a mentality that believes that studio.
Well, so one of the good arguments, like I always thought, one person, one vote made a lot of sense, and I do identify as a progressive Democrat, meaning like progressive, like I'm for the people. So one person, one vote makes a lot of sense. But, however, there is a logic to the Electoral College, which is to prevent against the dumb and stupid, unwashed masses being brainwashed by stupid shit. Exactly what we saw. So,
rumors, led by rumors. Yeah.
There's a fail-safe for people that actually went to college.
The Electoral College was literally created for 2016, and it failed. All right, that's it.
Fail. You're right.
Yeah, it was created for 2016.
Damn, that's a great fuck. It's so true.
The founding fathers looked at the map. Now they didn't necessarily foresee, the kind of communication coming up that we have today.
No,
but they kind of thought, you know what? There's a good chance. We know there's newspapers now, and a lot of people who have access to newspapers today, back in 1772, they don't read them. So they're kind of assuming, you know what? Doesn't matter what kind of information's out there. You're gonna have enough people out there that don't really want to listen to facts,
and that are really willing to buy that snake oil, and they're following the snake oil salesman, and they're like,
so because of that, we have to create this thing called the Electoral College,
where people who are actually smarter than everybody else, because they went to college. Because college, not everybody could go to college back then. Maybe that's why college.
That's what it was supposed to be.
I don't think it is.
No, that's the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that the Electoral College would be always the representatives of the Electoral College would be people who were educated, who had traveled, who had understood more of the world than the farm they grew up on or the city they lived in. That they would have and that they would have enough to go, oh boy, it would be a very rare situation.
Yeah.
Where they would go, listen, I really think the masses are making a mistake here.
That they're brainwashed by shock jock value systems.
Snake oil entertainment.
Yeah. So it was entertainment. That's exactly the reason they put it in there. They put it in there exactly for me.
And Trump brought it, and it happened in 2016.
It happened.
And then what happened in 2016? You said 2016, 2020.
Yeah. No,
2016 is when all shit went.
2016 is when it failed.
Yeah, it killed Prince and it killed Bowie in the same year.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
And Trump came
what an awful year.
And then they were trying to use it.
Wait. Bowie died, Prince died, and Trump became president.
All in the same year.
Ay, caramba!
Yeah.
What? You can't write this stuff.
There's a whole list out there shit in that year, man. Yeah.
And so now they're trying to.
I left the country twice that year. Looking for another home.
Wow.
Yeah. But now the Republicans' goal now is to try to weaponize the Electoral College, while the Democrats are like, maybe it's time to do away with it, because everyone has said the Republicans may never win a presidency again without the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
And what's her name? Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
Who's doing some amazing work down there in Georgia.
Yeah. Oh man,
She-
she single-handedly saved us, and not single-handedly, but she had a huge impact in 2020.
She pointed out that did you know? It's the truth is, if Georgia had been blue for the last 50 years, just if everything else was exactly the same as it was, but Georgia was blue,
Yeah, what?
there would not have been a single Republican president
Really?
in the last 50 years.
Last 50 years.
And
Yeah.
that's
Based on-
actually
In our
science.
lifetimes,
That's science
Yeah.
speaking. That's like looking at the records and figuring out
Yeah, I think
the math
Reagan.
on it.
It was something like Reagan. I think Reagan. No, I don't remember. I don't remember what
Might
it
be.
was.
Well, Carter was the last. Well,
No, Carter was Democrat.
all right.
But yeah. So there you go.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, Carter was the last Democrat, is what I'm saying, that it would have.
Oh,
Oh, well, fuck.
wow.
It would have been around that era. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. Anyway, you look at it, it's about enough time for people to start kicking in equality through color and male and female voting rights. You know, like fuck, 50 years.
Yeah.
Fuck Georgia. Holy shit.
Well, yeah. Fuck Georgia, but nevertheless,
Georgia
like
fucked our country over that much?
it's not just that one. What they're
It's
saying
just a
is
statistic. You can't blame it on Georgia.
there's a tip of the coin right at the end,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it just takes that one, is what it's saying, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I mean, and it's-
but at the same token, BB, when you have so many people that are susceptible to Trumpism, shock jock, wrestling ring, third grade
Mentality.
language, and we're gonna follow this guy over this United States concept, over
Science.
party politics, like we're gonna have blind allegiance to one man. How doesn't elect? To me, it was like that's what it was like. Oh, okay, this is why they came up with the Electoral College, because people are that dumb. And if you have the dumbing down, if you have an intentional dumbing down of Americans, that they fall for this. I'm a wrestling fan and I'm a Trump fan, and there is a correlation. So but you're saying it failed, and therefore the one person, one vote is still a better system.
yeah, because if you break it down and you say, if you take a look at California,
Yeah, I'll have some. Pass some over. Yeah,
Charcuterie.
let me give me a little taste of that. What you got there? A little
Got
Frank and
some
beans.
Got a little kimchi and peanut. Got a little cashew. Got a little what kind of cheese do we have? Dubliner
It's a Dubliner, yeah.
with a little sweet mustard. Little
Nice.
I'm gonna have me a little snack.
little snacky time.
Inspired by that. Except
I'm
mine.
inspired too. I want to stop yelling about politics and ignorancy.
I ate all the rest of this kimchi. Is there more?
There's two, yes,
Okay, good.
top shelf.
Okay.
Right.
I just let
Hey,
you know.
Don't forget to freeze the baby cicadas for us, though.
Cicadas. Cicada bananas.
Cicadas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sin.
Okay.
Cicadas.
Duh.
Cicada.
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 There you
Right
go.
along. Freeze
Why?
those tasty little morsels. We're gonna have some cicada linguine,
Mm.
and we're gonna send some over to BB Rumble. BB, you had a tree that they may have congregated in, but you cut down the tree.
We have another tree. We have a second tree.
You still have one tree
Yeah.
It smells so
in
damn
which you
good.
can catch some of those cicadas. Throw them in the freezer. I think that's a great idea.
Mm.
Scoop them in the. You got to scoop them in the morning and throw them in the freezer. Is what she said.
Keep it in the morning, put them in the freezer, have it for supper time.
Time.
Hey, yeah. Scoop in
Chicken
the morning.
underneath the door. Chicken calling
Yeah.
out for more. Cicadas calling out for more.
But
Do
yeah,
your part to save the crops.
If you take the math, if you take a look at California and the population of California, then take the number of states that it would take in the Midwest to equal California's electoral count. So California has whatever it is, 53 or whatever, right? Something like that. Then there's like 6 states in the Midwest that you need to take 6 states to add up to whatever it is, 53 or whatever the electoral college.
Okay.
But if you add up the populations of California compared to those 6 states, then every one electoral college vote from California is the equivalent of like 43 voters. So in California, so every 43 voters in California equate to 1 electoral college vote.
Okay.
But if you add up the population of those 6 other states, it's 3 people add up to 1 electoral college vote. So in other words, if you get 3 people voting for you in Utah, Wyoming, whatever, you need 47 people voting for you in California to get the same number of votes.
Okay.
So that's the flaw right now with the electoral college, that they haven't ever changed. They haven't changed the numbers.
The thing is, though, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. We are the United States, okay? So if you look at the United States as a landmass based on Europe and overlaid on Europe, we're still like bigger than Europe, right? Like some of our states are bigger than some of their countries,
right?
That's true, yeah.
You know, if you go throughout history, these countries, God knows why they developed their own languages over millennia. It was probably because they didn't want to, because it was wars and boundaries and all other kind of logic that we can't even perceive of. Like they literally deserve language. Tower of Babel.
Language battle.
They just built the thing and they all scattered, and that was the Bible story.
That's a whole other story. Yeah.
But here, you know, so to form the United States, the founders were like, well, some of you are going to be Mormons in Utah, and you're not going to want, you know, your voice should have some type of equal footing.
But it does. See,
but so that's just don't get steamrolled by these progressives in California.
But that's where everything gets fucked up. That's what they don't. That's what the Senate is for. We don't change the Senate. The Senate still has 2 senators.
Okay.
Per state.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've got 6 people living in a state.
Okay.
You get 2 senators.
Okay.
You have 40 million people living in a state.
I see.
You get
so
2
this will
senators.
really only affect the presidential
It will
election.
only affect the presidential. The state.
Got it.
And the state representation in the federal government remains the same. You still get your
holy shit. Then that okay. That clears it all up for me. Thanks.
Yeah. And all it does is and what it does also then is it forces those parties, let's just say the Republicans right now, that are buying in on stupidity and are buying in on
they're doubling down on it. Yeah.
It forces them to go, dude, we have to find a candidate that can at least appeal a little more to the thinkers and the scientists. We can't do it. We can't do it.
And the non-racists.
Trump got fewer votes than Clinton.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton got more votes. You know, Hillary Clinton got more votes than Trump. You know.
Wow.
So,
holy shit.
Right? You know.
Okay. I'm sold. I'm done. I'm all for it.
You got to go back to 1988.
We got to do this for the.
You got to go back to 1988 to have the last time a new Republican president won the popular vote. It has not been since 1988 that a Republican president, a non-incumbent, not running for re-election, but you have to go back to 1988, the last time to find a Republican president.
Meaning the popular vote, meaning the majority of people just
in the country
based on overall population,
right? As opposed to every single Democratic president winning the popular vote. Every single president that was Democratic has won the popular vote, but you have to go back to 1988 to find a Republican.
That's
fascinating.
George W. Bush.
It's fascinating.
Is the only Republican president that won the popular vote, and that was when he was running for re-election.
Yeah, because
following 9/11, when he had the whole country, flared up,
brainwashed.
flared up and ready to attack Arabs.
And that might have been, and the question is, that still may have been a false flag event.
No shit.
It may have been. I mean, Brian,
Sure.
maybe what do you think it was a false flag?
No.
Okay, I don't. I don't
he
either.
went to
except
the
there-
crash site here
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania as well.
the way that the building fell, though, and there's like a lot of, I mean,
I think there's a lot of research out there that can be done that you might want to look at.
yeah, it seems like there was a lot of burning at the foundation, so it seemed like it was choreographed, and there was, I mean, there was that piece, Fahrenheit 9/11, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, there was a movie. There was a documentary.
Fahrenheit 9/11, something like that. Yeah, the movie. I mean, I think they go into that as well. So,
Yeah, they-
all right. So anyway,
It's worth researching.
the point is
Definitely.
it,
And you've seen the
There are
movie Wag the
people that are-
Dog. Start with
Whenever
the movie Wag the Dog. You know it well, and then
so
go
the
back
logic, but the problem is that a lot of Q people see these things, and honestly, some of them are they're naive, but when you have false flag events, which the Bay of Pigs, right? That was a false flag, isn't it true?
I don't know.
can't answer that.
Well, one of them was proven to be true. That there were reports on a bombing of a ship, of an American ship, and the ship, like, it was completely fabricated.
Oh, that was one of the things to get us into World War One. I thought.
Yes, yeah, right. So, something
then-
like that, right?
Yeah, and then
they
there was
wanna-
the setup. People talk about Pearl Harbor being another setup in some fashion. You know what I mean? Just to
where
get
you have the
mapping
power
out
of the media. When the media synchronizes its efforts, the propaganda machine is so powerful, it can change the mindset of the people to support certain things. So a false flag event is if you're a Republican and say, hey, if this were to happen, not only would we get rid of a lot of financial records that were in those buildings, because there were also simultaneous buildings that fell, like, with at the same time, right? Like, there were 3 buildings that fell, and one of them was like, there wasn't even like the third plane never made it there, but it somehow still fell. It was, it was shot down, and they say that it was shot down around Somerset. I mean, not shot down, the people brought it down, but a lot of, conspiracy theories believe that, and I've heard people in Somerset say that there were military fighters that were following that thing, and that was a missile that blew that thing up. It exploded before it ever hit the ground. But yet there's a site there for the memorial. So we rewrite the history. There's certain people that
Let's
rewrite
roll.
this history. Because, and what happens is, if that puts the Republicans in control, is it worth the false flag? Is it worth X amount of civilian lives? So if we look at a chessboard, and chess is a very popular game, but how many pawns are you willing to sacrifice to move your queen across the board and gain control? And this is the way, unfortunately, certain people think, right? Like, and Bryant, you would be one of them. You would logically, you would put logic. I mean, if you had the opportunity, you might be one. I'm not saying that you are now, but in a former life, you might have been in a former life. If we're going to do that scenario, the point is that you might see the logic to say, hey, dropping a couple buildings in New York is way cheaper than starting World War II, and it will put us in power because we can change the minds of the citizens, and we can put our guy, George W. Bush, into power. And therefore, and once we have that, we, usually that 4 years historically, it turns into 8 years. That's 8 years of control. And we can, and if we have the media on our side, we might be able to get another 16 years. So is it worth it?
I mean,
that's the question.
He was already in power when it happened.
He was. You're right.
Yeah,
okay.
He was already president when it happened. So
well, that goes that whole theory.
Again,
yeah, that's right, because he was raising the kid. But
it's just a continuation of the setup. But
Yeah, I guess that's a good reason though, is to say why it wouldn't be a false flag, right?
Yeah,
It was already put in
Because
place.
Republicans were already in power. They pretty much already had, except he didn't get.
Dude, there were so many things that needed to get implemented that couldn't get implemented in the first 4 years, like how much of the Patriot Act and how many other, if you want to look at, the Orwellian ramifications that needed to happen for us all to have our tracking devices, in our lives, and all of our Alexas and everything listening to us and tapping. There are a certain amount of things that needed to happen for the American public sphere level to be at this rate in order to say, yes, please listen to my neighbor's conversation at all times, because they just might be a Arab or something other that they have no concept of. A Muslim. That's one way to get it done.
Yeah.
And here we are. This has been next to me all night, and now here we are, And I don't think it would have passed, if it wasn't for 9/11.
Man, I'll tell you, I don't know. So 9/11 is. Brian says no. BB says no, though. It wasn't a false flag. The buildings were dropped by planes, and it was coordinated by Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden is not related to the to the Bushes. There's a lot of I was looking at a lot of these conspiracy theories and back then, and I could see, when you buy into these things, there's a logic to it. I guess is the point.
Yeah.
Is why I don't, as ridiculous as this QAnon stuff is, there is something that led up to it. And the Americans that are willing to march on our Capitol, if they truly believe they're patriots. And here's the thing, is why I do laugh at them, and I'm sitting back and eating popcorn while this is going down, because they are on the wrong side of history. Because again, a lot of them are largely white, and they're doing this out of, like they want, it's the South will rise again type of crowd, right? And that's why I'm like, go ahead, fucking let's see how this plays out. And I'm eating popcorn from the sideline. But on the other hand, there have been false flags that have been verified in the past. I'll see if I can pull one of them up. And I could see when that, like, the false flags, and that, like, for example, like the Federal Reserve note, like the Federal Reserve is not, like it's a bunch of private banks that
Yeah, the Federal Reserve, they say, is about as federal as FedEx.
Right.
Yeah, or the U.S. mail system, which actually was also there's
Right.
The U.S. mail is actually it was a privately owned corporation that basically was so efficient at what they were doing that the government kind of sponsored them, and so it's a quasi-government agency, and like I think that's actually like the literal terms they use. It's quasi-governmental. So the federal, like, it's not like the federal, like the government literally doesn't run it. There are they have different boards and different presidents, and so it's half private bank and it's half federally funded. And to get the funding, they have to do certain things, but there is some type of marriage, and it's a quasi-federal government agency. And I think that's the case with the Federal Reserve as well, although it is a coalition of private banks that are largely, and the private banks are largely owned by one family each. And when you find all this stuff out and you're like, what the fuck? And you're an average guy or girl in America, and you're like, false flags are real? Federal Reserve isn't federal? And then all of a sudden everything unravels and you're ready for the next cue. You're ready for the next thing to be queued up and to be bought into. And in that sense, like I said, it's like, you kind of did it to yourself, America, by doing so much shady shit. But
I'm on board with that because I have many rabbit holes that I love to go down.
yeah,
And it's just
I've
because
been
it's not
down them.
tied to racism, I feel like that it's correct. You know what I mean? Because I don't have much faith in an overlord, in their sentimentality of the betterment of the country, of the lives of the people on an individual basis. That doesn't have to do with acquiring, and that their acts actually are the acts to make the lives of human beings better outside of their own borders as well. And so they would rather go to they would rather murder than talk over certain things of having necessities, you know, and it's just business. It's just business.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what, man, like when you put somebody in charge of a corporate mentality,
Or somebody that's a sociopath, you know, that has like literally that's like, yeah, but they're not as important as us. They're dumb. They're just they're
now,
pawns.
politics already has all of that in play. And then when you literally marry both of those together up front, well, the veil got to drop. You know what I mean? Like that's full on fuckery right there. So that said, I don't want to say much more. I'm getting into the midnight hour. More is not on my menu. She may have called more and Billy Idol standards, but
All right, love you, bro.
Out, everybody.
Yeah, we'll sign out. BB, any closing thoughts though on false flags and?
No, I absolutely believe in false flags and don't trust government. All that. I think there's a big step between fabricating or intentionally murdering 2,000 plus people,
and the logic that when you're in control, you say, well,
yeah,
if we start a war, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands.
Just having the limited intelligence that there's literally nothing else I can do rather than fabricate a major disaster or attack. I couldn't come up with another story. I think a lot of people that are in that position, not because they're idiots, but because they're diabolical and they're very likely to come up with a story.
Trinomial?
Yeah, trinomial. That doesn't necessarily require you know what? There's nothing else I can do here other than fabricate some, murder 2,000 citizens and make up a story to cover.
Yeah, for us to maintain power, this is what it's going to take. I'm sorry, this is what it's going to take.
I think that
it's hard to believe in that.
Yeah, well, no, it's hard. It's hard for me to believe that they would come to the belief that that's the only thing they can do.
That's what I know, but
our last resort.
But I don't know that it would be. I mean, I think that
I could see it.
I could see myself or somebody else going, what ends we need to accomplish? Okay. And coming up with an idea that doesn't require that. I don't think I'm
all the risk that comes with it for being exposed, because if you're exposed, if you get caught, your head's on a clink, right? I mean, maybe
you got a lot of families. You got a lot of families either were there no families on the planes, or were there families on the planes? Were there people in the towers?
Yeah, they're civilians.
I mean, that were linked to
Yeah. So and those
when you're in Vietnam, shoot the babies. You kill the babies too.
I
shoot the eggs.
I would 100% be killing babies in Vietnam. There's not a question.
So who cares if a few of them are on the planes? I mean, so you get into this logic to where it's like, yeah, but it'll keep us in power and we'll be. So I could see where the Q people, and I think a lot of the Q people that are wearing these shirts, maybe they're not racist. It seems by the interviews I see, most of them are based on racism. I will say that it seems like a good 80% of them are doing this because they believe in white superiority. But I think that there might be as much as 20% of people that are like storming the Capitol because they
The
just went
thing
down
is-
the rabbit hole of like this shit's wrong and like
The
our
thing is,
government
they
should be
don't
ruled by
see
just
white
people.
superiority as an issue. The country was founded on white superiority. They just believe that the country has been, mutated since its origination. That even Lincoln, when asked in a debate, "Do you believe that the black people are equal to whites?" said, "No, I don't. I don't
Wow.
believe they should be." And Lincoln is the one who freed them, who freed the slaves. But even Lincoln did not say.
Well,
that
I
they were
think at
equal.
that time he would probably say, if given the same opportunities to have education and an equal way of life, then they would have a conscious, equality, I suppose. Like
No,
he's
Lincoln did not think that blacks were created equal. Lincoln believed that whites were superior.
they were in an unequal situation, possibly.
No, that's not what he believed.
And I'm not saying I've never met the man, and at that time there's
Right, that's a good point, T.
perception. But now the rational mind would obviously say that no, they are completely living outside of the reality of the upper-handed, and the white mentality and the black mentality are completely two different fuck all realities. And no, they can't live side by side and see each other at that point in history, because both lives are foreign. Both equality, neither lives mattered to each other.
Correct. Yeah, that's
Did
for sure.
slavery exist in England when we were doing slavery here in America? Were they doing slavery in England?
It was being done all over the world.
Yeah, I don't know when it got out. When it got out in England, I don't know when slavery got overturned.
But I don't think it was such a what's the word I'm looking for? A consumerist kind of thing. I think there were probably. I'd like to research that, because it seemed like the floodgates opened when there was another land. Yeah, when the
United States needed labor, and they were like,
right.
Yeah, somebody conceived of this idea and sold a bunch of other white people on it, that we have the guns, we have the might, we have the power to enslave another people, and this would be good for us economically, and it's worth the cost. And there were conversations that happened of smart people that realized and made this decision that we have to convince everybody that they're inferior so that we can do this, so that we can produce and that we can have clothes made of cotton, because we just can't. If we paid everybody a fair wage, it's
not going to happen.
It's going to take way too long.
It's the same way.
I just don't know like how that conversation went, but right. I mean, that's the basic logistics of it, right? I mean, am I wrong? It's basically
no, you're not wrong.
They needed it to happen. They wanted it to happen. They wanted it to happen fast, and they couldn't pay people. So it was like, we need a different way. And somebody who was an evil genius, but nonetheless a genius, got their way, and we got slavery here in the United States that lasted a long time, and then equates into prejudice today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a ugly.
Pretty, but at the same time, it's fascinating and like fucking crazy. Crazy town.
Here we go. It
You got something
was.
to share?
It was England passed legislation in 1807.
Throw it up on the
to
screen. Oh, we're done. 1807.
Yeah, May
Okay.
1st, 1807.
All right, don't know what I missed, but I gotta say this: that all throughout history, the one thing that's fucked us eternally over and over again is the belief that you are an individual that lives outside of nature, and the other things grown from nature. That includes your fellow man. We are not reliant on anything else outside of the fact that this planet that we live on is our sustenance. The plants that grow from it rely on the sun. The human beings and the animals that grow from it also rely on the sun and the fact that it nourishes the earth that grows things that we must survive on. If we start looking at anything else outside of ourselves as as a commodity, something to be dealt with as consuming, that's a word, consuming for our own consumerism. If we look at anything else outside of ourselves as inferior and only there for our own survival, we are doomed to perish along with it. Period. Whether it's a plant, an animal, or another human being that doesn't look like the person that you look at in the mirror. Period. Thank you. Good night. I love you guys very much.
All right, next Wednesday, we'll eat some plants, drink some alcohol, and
maybe some mushrooms, some ayahuasca, and see our connectedness.
Right.
See that we are actually one life form.
We're going to eat some mushrooms and stream for 6 hours. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's coming this summer.
That's coming this summer.
Yes, we're going to play Clay Warriors for 4 hours.
Clay Warriors. That's what we played. Yeah.
Remember this?
I do.
Oh my God.
I
love you guys.
All right, all. Be safe out there.
Thanks so much. This was a wonderful evening.
Clay
Cheers.
Warriors.
I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane.
That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it, and you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan.
You did.
You fucking,
Joe Rogan, yeah.
Yeah,